Hello and welcome to Ellis Oval in Zinman Field for another Tufts University home football game. Today, the Tufts University Jumbos take on the Trinity Bantams in a matchup of NESCAC heavyweights. The Trinity Bantams come to Medford at 4-0, the Jumbos at 3-1, having lost to Wesleyan in the second week of the season. And this is a matchup that may or may not, probably will play a huge part in deciding how the top half of the NESCAC unfolds as this season goes on. Tufts aiming to win against Trinity for the first time since 2007, and Trinity hoping to just stay undefeated and keep rolling to what could be their second consecutive NESCAC title. I'm Charlie Driver. I'm here joined by Phil, my colleague. I didn't get your last name, Phil?
My name is Phil Sprague. Hi, guys. We're here on a hazy day that's driven away all but the most dedicated Jumbo fans. Both teams will come out here, brave the elements, and hopefully the Jumbos will get their first win against Trinity in about 9 years and look to win their first NESCAC conference championship.
Phil, how do you think that the conditions are going to affect this? We had a little bit of a rain shower. It's clearing up now, but that field is probably a little wet.
I think it's going to be a war of attrition, possibly a game of grit. Who can brave the elements the best, who can fight for those extra yards in the sloppy conditions. And I think that's going to play a major factor out here.
Does it help out one part of the game versus another, run versus pass?
I think it's definitely going to be hard on both sides. I think it's going to be tricky to get footing. It's going to be tricky to get your hands on a wet football. So I think we're just going to see who wants it more on those game-for-game plays.
And we'll just take a quick break now and let you listen to the national anthem as performed by the Tufts Pep Band.
Players and pan across them. Come to you. Andrew, you want to do me a big favor and get a shot of the flag? It's not really waving, but just this one zoom in real tight, and then once the anthem ends, kind of just slowly zoom out. All right, you can. I'm not on you right now, Andrew. Yeah. So you can just zoom in as fast as you want. I guess. I'm going to go ahead and cut.
That's one smooth cut. But it's not dirty.
Alright, zoom out real slow. Go back to them.
Smooth has to be selected for it to be easy. Yeah, I tried to adjust the volume so you can talk about it.
And with America saluted, it's time to play some football. The teams will go out for the kickoff in just a moment. Tufts' last game was a 31-3 homecoming victory over Bowdoin. They rolled over a team that had not won since 2015. Trinity defeated Hamilton. That was a closer game. I'm not sure what the score was. Let me just check my notes very quickly. They beat Hamilton 41-13, so not actually a close game, but they did score a heavy amount of unanswered points after Hamilton went out for an early lead. They had 594 yards of offense, a staggering total, but that was marred a little with an asterisk of 3 turnovers on offense. So a Jumbo's defense, which is more dominant than Hamilton's, will try and take advantage of that turnover streak by Sonny Puzo and co. heading into this game. Jumbos are going to kick off the start, so Trinity will receive. And we're going to see Matthew Alswanger, number 49, kick this one off and get us underway. More and more parents filing into Ellis Oval. It's Parents Weekend here at Tufts University. So a lot of dads and moms as well as students here today. 2 back to receive the kick for Trinity. That looks like number 21, Shelby Grant. And number 10, Colin Beaulieu. Both of which are running backs, but doing some double duty here on special teams. Alswanger sets the ball, and there's the whistle. And this game gets underway. That kick is a little short. It'll land around the 10. Beaulieu receives. He's got it past the 20 now into some space. Breaks a few tackles and is taken down for a nice gain right around the 32-yard line. So that will be where the Trinity offense starts. The Trinity offense is led by the reigning NESCAC first-teamer at quarterback, Sonny Puzo, a senior, a former NESCAC Rookie of the Year at his position. Last year he threw for 1,492 yards with 16 touchdowns, 256 rushing yards. This season 957 with 10 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And so we'll see a snap here. Notable absence in the backfield is Max Chipperas, but he'll motion in now. He's a junior, also a NESCAC first-teamer last season. And it's going to be a handoff, fake handoff to him, and Puzo is going to take it on his own, and he's got a first down and maybe a little more, but then he's brought down for a gain of around 12 yards. Two Jumbos combining on the tackle.
And the Jumbo's defense is going to be wanting to put a heavy emphasis on Max Chaperis, the leading rusher in the NESCAC, which allows the quarterback there to get away as the Jumbos are pretty occupied with Max.
A 13-yard game takes the Bantams up to the 45-yard line, where they'll have a first down. Chaporos came second in the NESCAC in rushes last year, blocked only by Chance Brady of Tufts. Puzo alone now in the shotgun. He'll take this and look to pass. He's going to pass mid-range. It's caught there by the tight end, number 87. That's Matt Hirschman. And that'll be a gain of 8.
Puzo's pass is complete to Matt Hirschman.
It's Matt Hirschman's 6th catch of the year. He has 1 touchdown on the season.
Greg Holt and J.D. Garcia on the tackles for the Jumbos.
And they're actually going to bring a measurement for this. They're giving a generous one here, and we'll see if that makes the first down. It looks like the nose of the ball might just be there. But we'll have to see for sure. So already, Phil, a strong start by this Trinity offense, as that is actually going to be short, so it'll be a second and inches at the 46-yard line.
Well, the Jumbo's defense not happy with these first 2 plays. Already 1 first down and a near second first down. Jumbo's definitely going to want to look to step up their defensive effort here against a Trinity offense that got almost 600 yards last week.
Tough defense, allowing 18 points per game so far this season, aided by that strong performance against a fairly insipid Bowdoin offense. Second and inches. Puzo takes a snap. It's going to be a handoff to Chipperas. He's got some space, breaks a tackle there. That looks like a Greg Holt attempting to bring him down, and he'll get the first down and some more, taking him all the way to the 33-yard line. So a gain of 12 yards for Max Chipperas.
And we're 3 plays in, and Trinity already looking like they're just taking everything that they want right now. Tufts' morale is not going to be very good after these first 3 plays.
You see Puzo and Chipperas there. We'll be seeing them all game long. The 2 stars offensively for this team. The 3rd, Kobe Schaefer, in the wide receiver position. Puzo looking to pass now. He's going to go deep. He's got Hirschman, but Hirschman can't rein it in. Nice coverage there by number 21, Brett Phillips, just putting him off enough for an incompletion.
And it looks like number 87 is limping off, possibly shaken up after that hit.
Yeah, that's Hirschman. He was bumped into pretty heavily by Brett Phillips there, attempting to catch the ball. But this is a 2 tight end strong team. So they'll be able to make up for that with Ted Allmendinger, who got a touchdown last week. It's going to be a screen here, received by Bowdoin, and the tackle, a really nice open field tackle by number 5. That's Alex Lapiana on the tackle. The completion was there to Kobe Schaefer. Last week, he had a 90-yard touchdown catch to be part of a 10-catch, 202-yard day, one of the biggest in Trinity history. And it's going to be a 3rd and 9 here after that gain of 1.
Crowd getting loud as they look for the Jumbos to make this stop here, force a field goal.
So the 3rd and 9. Puzo gets the snap. He's looking to pass. Got under some pressure, and it's dropped by the receiver. That was Jonathan Gerard, the intended receiver, but he couldn't come down with it, and even if he had, he probably would have been very short. So it'll go to a 4th down now, and we'll probably see Eric Sashi
staying on the field.
Oh, excuse me then. Yeah, it looks like maybe a little out of the range of the reigning NESCAC Player of the Week in Special Teams, Alex Sashi. So they're going to go for it on a 4th and long here, 4th and 9.
This is one of those no man's land plays where they can't quite kick the field goal, but a little bit too close to punt it.
So it's going to be a 4th down conversion attempted. They're 50% on the year, trying to take it over the halfway mark. Puzzo receives a snap, drops back to pass. Under some pressure, almost brought down. He's rolling out to the outside, still looking for an option, but he's not going to have anything, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. Final tackle. That was, excuse me, let me check my numbers. That was, excuse me, not 28. Tyler Scales on the tackle. Anyway, it's a turnover on downs and a really strong Jumbo's defensive stop on a drive that looks quite different, Phil.
Yeah, after the first 3 plays, Jumbos were not feeling good. The Trinity was just walking all over them.
It's a replay there, the stop.
That big hit right there is definitely what the Jumbos were looking for.
So here's Ryan McDonald in the Jumbos offense. McDonald, the junior, is 2nd in the NESCAC in rushing yards and 5th in passing yards. And this is going to be a pass there, and he overthrows an open receiver, but there's a flag. We'll see what that comes down to. Dan De Leon, the intended target. That looked like it could be a holding call. Dan De Leon had his best game of the season last week. 5 catches for 86 yards and a touchdown. And that's a holding call against the secondary of the Bantams, and that'll move the Jumbos for a 1st down and 10 here at the 43-yard line.
Jumbo's definitely appreciating free 10 yards right there.
It's a fake handoff. Under some pressure now is McDonald, but he's going to range out to his right and complete a pass there. That's Jack Dolan. The leading receiver for this Jumbos team, his 27th catch of the year, moves the Jumbos into Bantams territory, a gain of around 20 yards.
Ryan McDonald, known for his ability to scramble, his ability to throw on the run, and that's what he showed us right there.
So the Jumbos in Bantams territory now, 1st and 10 at the 35. In the backfield is the freshman Mike Pedrini. He had a touchdown along with 55 yards last week. It's another fake handoff and a quick pass to Dan De Leon, but really nice coverage there by number 13 for the Bantams. That's we're not 13. That's number 15 on the coverage. That's Dominique Seegers. I should go to the ophthalmologist and update my prescription here. So it's a 2nd and 10 after that incompletion. McDonald takes the snap. This time he's going to take it himself. He's got some space. There's a flag on the field, and he's going to slide for a gain of around 9 yards. But we'll wait to see what this call is.
McDonald on the carry for the Jumbos.
McDonald, one of the shiftier quarterbacks you'll see, looked like he just shimmied his way through the center of the field right there.
But it's all for naught because that's an offensive holding call against the Jumbos offensive line, and that'll take them back now to a 1st and 15.
Jumbos being generous there as they got the benefit of a holding call, now giving it right back.
A little unfortunate there after the nice gain. So, excuse me, it's actually 2nd and 20 as they lose 10 yards. They'll be back at the 45-yard line now. Pedrini's still the running back in the set. Jumbos have been doing a timeshare system in the absence of Chance Brady, who graduated last year. Here's the snap to McDonald. He's going to look to pass. Under a little pressure. He's going to look deep now. He's got an open man. Let's see if he can get it there. No, it's overthrown. Intended receiver Dolan in the end zone. Looked like he had him if he had gotten that pass on target.
Yeah, he definitely just had no other options. Heaved it up in the end zone, hoped that his best receiver would get underneath it. Just a little bit too much sauce on that one.
They just miss a 45-yard touchdown there to Jack Dolan. And so instead it will be a 3rd and 20.
All right, so on the next play, just to keep the ball go a little bit faster.
And there's a snap looking to pass. He's going to go to middle range, and it's intercepted. An interception there by the Trinity Bantams on an overthrown pass, and the return will take him all the way to near Madden on the interception. Number 4, the junior from Norristown, Pennsylvania, gets his first pick of the year, and the Bantams get a big stop and a nice return there.
And he had an open receiver there cutting across the middle, but he simply threw it above and behind him, right into the hands of the defender.
That's McDonald's third pick of the year, as we see a replay of that return. Jack Dolan with the tackle in the end. So the Bantams will start out at the 41-yard line. Still looking for our first points 4 minutes into the game. Amongst two of the top-scoring offenses. It's going to be a handoff to Max Chipperas here. He's going to take this for a gain of around 6. A nice run from the junior there.
Taking down a couple Jumbo's bodies with him, showing his strength.
And gain of 7, actually. So it's a 2nd and 3 now. And he's going to take it himself. It's Puzzo, and he's got the first down and taken down at the 46-yard line. So that'll be a gain of 5 for the senior quarterback, scrambling there. And it'll move the chains.
Draw 4 on the stop for the Jumbos. It will be a first down for Trinity.
Trinity led by two former NESCAC Rookies of the Year in Puzzo and Chipperas. Last year's NESCAC Rookie of the Year on the Jumbos defense. So all 3 of them on the field right now. That's Greg Holt, number 54, the Jumbos leading tackler this year. Here's a snap to Puzzo. He's looking to pass. He's looking long, and that's incomplete. Really nice coverage by the Jumbos, number 5 there. That's Alex Lapiana again, taking that away from Jonathan Gerard, the intended receiver.
It looked like it was in the receiver's hands, but he lost it on the way down. Nice coverage there by the Jumbos.
And so it'll be a 2nd and 10. Looking for a little set of instructions there from Mark Malatsky, the offensive coordinator of Trinity's team, who works under 12th-year head coach Jeff Devaney. Jumbo's head coach Jay Savetti, a Trinity grad, former offensive lineman. 2nd and 10 now. It's going to be a screen out to number 12. That's Kobe Schaefer, and he's got a gain of about 4, and he's absolutely by the Jumbo's defense.
An enormous hit there. The Jumbo's sideline is loving that play. The crowd is on their feet. Big plays like that definitely shift the momentum.
And that's Lapiana again, so 2 big plays there by the cornerback and punter, the junior from Charlotte, North Carolina. And now, as a result of that, it's 3rd and 7. Gain of 3 for Schaefer there. Three wide receivers for Puzzo. He's looking to pass. He's going to go deep, but it's almost sacked there, and that effort was enough to put off Puzzo and put his throw into the ground. Really nice effort by the Jumbo's defense. That was Zach Thomas. He has 4 sacks on the year. Almost got his 5th, but he'll take that because now it's a 4th and 7, and here comes the punt team.
Puzzo got that throw off a little bit too late. By the time he was releasing it, hit from the back. Just couldn't even get it in the air.
Zach Thomas has 4 sacks, time for first in the NESCAC. He had 9 in 2015. A real beast on this stack, Jumbo's back line. Here's the punt. Ian McDonald, the punter. It's going to go deep, and fair catch called for, and then Dolan decides the better of it. And it's a good choice there because it rolls into the end zone for a touchback, and Tufts will get it at the 25-yard line. And so the Jumbo's defense, Phil, really showing what they're made of against a team that had 594 yards of offense last week and is averaging 30 points a game.
And the Jumbo's defense definitely enjoyed last week's game against Bowdoin. They had a good showing, a lot of strong stops, turnovers, and they're definitely carrying that momentum here into the 2nd best offense in the NESCAC up to this point.
So Trinity will once again try to answer Tufts' defense's strong performance. 1st and 10 for McDonald here. It's going to be a handoff there to, he's going to take it himself, excuse me. A little bit of misdirection that even fools me, and McDonald will take it for a gain of 3 on the keeper. Nick Rose making the tackle for the Bantams. The junior, that's his 5th tackle of the year. Also has an interception on the defensive line. Showing blitz of the Bantams, and it's going to be a run play here. Pedrini is brought down for a really short gain. Got a little more maybe than he should have, given how much pressure was at the line.
And Trinity with the best defense in the NESCAC this year, allowing the least yards per game at, I believe, 222. But definitely showing a lot of pressure there, not leaving any room.
So after 2 short gains, it's a 3rd and 4 for the Jumbos. Here's the snap. He's going to look for Pedrini. Pedrini catches it, and he's going to have the first down there. A nice gain by the freshman. A gain of around 6 takes him up to the 20, maybe the 21-yard line. And Mike Pedrini converts that 3rd down into a 1st. So Jumbos have done fairly well this season, averaging around 40% 3rd-yard conversion.
Pedrini got hit right 2 yards before the first down marker, but fought through it, dove forward for the first down.
He had a big run last week where he did just that, broke a tackle. McDonald under heavy pressure, rolling out, escaping 1-2 Bantams, and then just throwing it away.
Smart decision there. He had nowhere to go. Would have been a loss of yards, but managed to get it out of his hands.
And really good offensive line play by the Jumbos there. Almost a sack there for Brandon Blazo, number 99 for the Bantams, but a last-second block salvaged that and led it to only be an incompletion. You see him there at the line. So it's a 2nd and 10 at the 31-yard line. And he's going to pass it. A completion made there by the Jumbos, but it's going to be a gain of around only 2 yards. Nice stop there by number 20 on the defense. That's John Medina. Winton Blunt, the tight end, with the reception. 3rd and 8 now.
Jumbos finding themselves in 2 straight 3rd and long positions. Hopefully they'll complete this, convert this one like they did last time.
Mike Miller in motion. McDonald under pressure. Breaks a tackle there, and still under some heavy pressure. It's 3 versus McDonald. He's going to throw it up and out of bounds. It's Philly, you'd say that's all he could do.
It's a miracle he stood on his feet there. He almost hit the ground, held himself up with one hand. Looked like he was just baiting them to come get him before he threw it away.
Showing that his feet can get him yardage, but it can also avoid negative gains as well, losses, one could say. And so the Tufts punt team will come out. Alex Lapiana, the cornerback, doubling up as punter now. Last year, Jumbos had someone who could do double kicking and punting duty. Willie Holmquist, who was one star kicker for 3 years, but he's now at Duke as a grad student. So here's Lapiana's punt. It's low, and it'll roll, though, all the way to the 24-yard line. So a nice long punt by Alex Lapiana. And picking it up at the 24 will be Sonny Puzo and the Bantams.
An extremely friendly roll from that ball. You never know how a football is going to bounce, but he got the benefit of the doubt there with that one as it rolled a significant distance.
And that's part of the gamble you take with that low punt. It doesn't really travel as far, but hopefully you expect it to get that sort of roll. So we're about halfway through the first quarter here, and Phil, these teams haven't scored any points.
It's a defensive game right now. Both teams showing that they have a lot of defensive power. Both teams also trying to show their offensive power, but the defense is definitely controlling the game right now.
The Bantams have shutout wins over the first 2 weeks of the season when they outscored their opponents 87-0. Here's Puzo now. He's looking long. Under some coverage, and it looks like that could have been a different play if not for an injured receiver there. That looked like number 1, Sean Kennedy, has pulled a hamstring there, so we hope he'll be all right, but that looks like something that might take him out for the game.
He went to the ground as the throw was in the air. If he had kept running, who knows what would have happened on that play. But
yeah, you could see mid-throw, his hand went down to his left hamstring, and he wasn't going to catch it after that. So a 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. And the snap. It's going to be Puzo taking it himself, and he's dropped after a really short gain on the nice stop there. That was Tyler Scales again.
Both teams have been utilizing the fake handoff quarterback run. Looks like the Jumbos were wiser to it this time and stopped him before he could do any damage.
The sophomore Tyler Scales has come into a big role on this Jumbos defense. 18 tackles so far in the season. He's up to 20 in this game, alongside 2 sacks, and the player whose future dream job as an anesthesiologist, showing that he can put offenses to sleep on the defensive side. Puzo now, 3rd and 6. And the snap, he's going to look to pass. under some pressure, and he's going to be brought down by the Jumbos. Calabrese, that's his second sack of the year, the senior from Uniontown, Pennsylvania, with a huge stop, as you see here.
The first sack of the game for the Jumbos. They had 5 last week. Definitely going to want to keep putting pressure on the defense. Sacks like that definitely change the way that the game goes.
This is a Jumbos defensive line that has 3 people worthy of first-team All-NESCAC. Zach Thomas made it in 2015, and last year Micah Atticus and Doug Harrison both made it. So this is the strongest part of this Jumbos defense, and they show it there. Here's McDonald's punt, It's short, almost muffed by Jack Dolan, but he recovers it there at the 44-yard line. So almost a big mistake by the Jumbos on special teams.
And when the ball is rolling around in the wet grass and you're trying to pick it up out of the ground, it's not easy. That ball is very slippery after it's been rolling in the wet grass. But that big sack sets the Jumbos up in great field position at near half field. So hopefully they'll be able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, a loss of 6 on that sack now leads to the Jumbos getting the ball at their own 45. 5 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Still yet to see a touchdown or a field goal in this game. Ryan McDonald threw a pick earlier. This is going to be a handoff to Mike Pedrini. He's running out to the line, and he'll get it for a gain of around 2 yards. A short game for the freshman, who was one of 3 Jumbos running backs with over 50 yards rushing last week, joined by Jay Tyler and Andrew Sanders, all of whom got between 53 and 55 yards rushing. Here's McDonald, who in that game got around 70. He's going to look to pass now. And it's a low pass, and Dolan did his best, but bobbled it, and it dropped to the turf.
And a ball like that, he hits it up in the air. The defender was almost there to take that out of the air, but luckily it was low enough that it wasn't able to be picked off there.
Yeah, but unluckily it was a little too low to be catchable. And so it'll go to a 2nd and 7 here. Should be 3rd and 7, I believe. The scoreboard is incorrect. So a 3rd and 7. Dolan in motion. Pistol look for the Jumbos as McDonald takes a snap and looks to pass quick. And he's got Dan De Leon for a first down in Bantams territory. That'll take him all by De Leon there.
And that throw not too low, not too high, right into his gut where he had no choice but to catch it for that first down.
Dan De Leon quickly emerging as the second favorite receiver in this team. It's his second catch of the day, and that's a big one there. So a 1st and 10 now. It's going to be a screen out to Dolan. Dolan's got it, and he's going to be brought down, almost brought down. Broke a tackle there. That was all latched onto his collar. Number 11 there had the hand there.
Looks like they're throwing a flag on that play, too.
Yeah, attempting to bring him down was Dago Piconrora, the leading tackler on this team with 23 tackles this season. The junior from Rosendale, Massachusetts, and we'll see what the call is here. Little conference of referees, and it's going to be probably unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. Little confusion among the Jumbo faithful in attendance, and in a sec, probably a little ire too, because the Jumbos are going to move back all the way to at least halfway. And a little further too, making it a 2nd and 25 after the 15-yard penalty.
And likely the referees overheard something or saw something in that scruff as Dolan went down to the ground.
And actually, no, it will be a 2nd and 20. From the 49-yard line, so just barely in Bantams territory are the Jumbos, but a big amount of space to get in order to get another first down. 2nd and 10. McDonald looking to pass. Under some pressure, he's going to take it himself. Breaks a tackle there from Blazo, but is ended up brought down for a loss of 2 by number 52. That's Cardi Campbell. He was the NESCAC Defensive Player of the Week 2 weeks ago. Has 11 tackles for the season, make that 12 now. In his spare time in the spring when he's not playing football, he's a thrower for the Trinity track and field team. So a 3rd and 26 for the Jumbos. Asking a lot of Ryan McDonald and co here. And they're going to look mid-range. They've got a receiver. That's, by the looks of it, let me get a better look at that number. That's number 85. That's Jack Donahue, the tight end, on the catch, and that'll take it all the way to a 4th and about 12. And the Jumbos are going to go for it here, which is something, Phil, they just have to do based on the field position.
There's another no man's land play. Can't quite kick the field goal, can't quite punt it, so they're going to look to convert this right here.
3rd and 13 here. So wouldn't make sense to punt anyway. So now on the 3rd and long, under pressure, and McDonald's going to be brought down for a huge loss, all the way back to the 45. Two-time all-NESCAC player. That's his 2nd sack of the year, and it's a big one on Ryan McDonald.
Looks like McDonald didn't even see that one coming. Next thing he knew it, he was spinning his way to the ground.
So the Jumbos ended Trinity's last drive with a sack, and it looks like Trinity's going to do the same thing to Tufts here, as La Piana will aim to punt it. 4th and 22. And the punt. It's another lone long one, and it's going to get a nice roll and stop right around the 18-yard line. So the Bantams will get it there. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. We're still waiting for a score. It's been a dominant defensive performance by both teams so far, and doesn't look like letting up anytime soon.
Yeah, both teams have been had emphatic sacks to end drives. Looks like it's completely defensive right now. Hopefully at some point a team will convert their defense into offense, but as of right now it's just completely defensively controlled.
And if you're a big fan of defense, this is definitely the game for you. If you're a big fan of offense, you should keep watching too, because it might break out. So now Sonny Puzzo will try and get the first points on the board here from his own 22. It's a handoff to Max Chipross. He's got some space up the middle and ends up being brought down by Greg Holt at the 19-yard line. So a mid-range gain for Chipross there.
And those mid-range gains are exactly what you want on a first down play. Set yourself up for an easier first down conversion.
7-yard gain now. Puzzo fakes a handoff. He's going to look to pass. He's got a receiver, and a nice catch there from Kobe Shea. Bridge, Massachusetts.
He hit there. He hit him before he was even back on his feet. Took him to the ground as he came down.
And it's a first down for Chauffeur. 13-yard gain, and the Trinity Bantams are trying to drive here. 17 yards down already. And the snap. It's going to be a screen pass out to the wide receiver. And chased out of bounds by La Piana is number 22.
We've seen that a few times these games, that nice defense in the open field off the screen pass.
And so a 2nd and 9 here after a 1-yard gain on the screen pass. And the Tufts defense read perfectly. Ball in the 43, a minute 10 left in the first quarter. And the snap, looking to pass again, is Puzzo, and it's in there is Alex La Piana getting his hand in to deny Jonathan Gerard, and he's been everywhere so far.
That was a fantastic defensive play, stuck his hand right in front of the football. Just no chance of the receiver catching that ball.
The junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, really showing up here. Going into this season, we thought that Tim Preston would be the #1 cornerback for this Jumbos team, but La Piana surely making his mark here in this game. So a 3rd and 9 here for the Bantams. Tough, staunch defense showing its teeth again. Here's the snap. Puzzo drops back. He's going to pass. Got an open receiver and a first down. That's Kobe Chauffeur. And a nice 3rd down conversion.
And the top receiver there for Trinity makes a nice first down reception, 3rd and long. And that's what the Jumbos were looking to prevent, and the Trinity offense is definitely looking to feed off of that right here.
So 1st and 10 here at the 43-yard line. Puzzo is just going to go right back to the air, and he's going to look sort of long, but that's going to be so long that it sails out of bounds, intended for Gerard.
Looks like it was intended for the ball boy on the sideline who failed to make the reception.
Yeah, I don't think I'll mark that as a drop on my score sheet. So 2nd and 10 here. 34 seconds left in the first quarter. Rise of defense by the Tufts fans, as if that hasn't been here all the time in this game. Five seconds on the play clock. Down to 1. They get it off in time. Puzzo looking to pass under pressure. And he's going to be brought down by Zach Thomas. Maybe a sack, maybe just Zach Thomas with a huge stop on 2nd and 10 to make it 1st and 10. Let's see it here.
Impressive defense by the Jumbos, but also impressive by the quarterback to evade a couple tackles in the backfield and minimize the loss there.
And that'll be a sack for Zach Thomas, taking him into 1st in the NESCAC with 5. A loss of 1 on that sack. And that'll end the first quarter. Trinity will just let the time wear down, and so far after 1, it's been a tale of 2 defenses, don't you think, Phil?
It has been. We've seen a lot of good defense, a lot of sacks, breaking up passes. Both teams have been just really sound, not allowing a lot of yards.
And what do you think needs to be different for these teams? Especially for Trinity, something that we've noticed is that Chipper Ross has not been running the ball very often.
They have been going to the air a lot. They've made some nice big gains a couple times, but then just after that, just stalling on 3 straight plays and just losing all the progress. So they definitely are going to want to keep going with those early handoffs, get a couple yards, make it easier for the first down rather than having to keep going for 3rd and longs where Jumbo's defense is going to be able to exert their will.
Last week, Max Chipperos had 16 carries for 97 yards and 2 touchdowns, so he's a definite weapon on this Bantams team, but the weapon they've been preferring so far is Sonny Puzzo's arm, to not much avail given the score line. Teams are switching sides now. Last team talk by Jeff Devaney to his team.
And Trinity did well through the air last week. Big performance by both Puzzo and Chauffeur. Jumbo's defense, though, looks like they're a little bit better in secondary coverage.
There was some sloppiness, though. The 3 turnovers are evidence of that, and just trying to avoid one here while also making something happen. 3rd and 11. First play of the second quarter. It's a snap to Puzzo. He's going to look to throw again. Under pressure, Mike Atticus is going to get him! The senior drama major with a huge sack. NESCAC first player last season. 4th and 16. For the Jumbo.
That was poor strength. This took him out by the ankle with one hand. Just simply tripped him up.
And let me tell you, I've been up close and personal with Micah Atticus, and that is one large man.
Yeah, you don't want to see that guy coming at you and trying to bring you to the ground.
Very nice off the field, but according to his teammates, he's a beast on it. And so it'll be a punt here for McDonald. It'll be deep, returnable for Dolan. He's going to find a little bit of space and be brought down around the 23-yard line. So a nice return for the junior, and he's going to go back to the wide receiver position. That's the Jumbos try and get some points and draw first blood.
We saw a little bit of animosity up farther near the punter as a offensive lineman for the Jumbos got into a little bit of a scruff with the Trinity defender, and referee's not calling anything, but definitely a lot of tensions here.
That's a 37-yard punt from the sophomore from Avon, Connecticut, Ian McDonald, and here comes the Jumbos offense. Trinity Bantams defense is allowing an unheard of 5.5 points per game. Still under that average now. Jumbo's offense, meanwhile, averaging 30 points per game with a 423 yards per game clip in terms of offensive yards. And it looks like it's going to be a timeout taken here by Jay Savetti on the Tufts sideline. So which of the two coaches do you think is happier right now? Do you think they're equally happy?
I would say that the Jumbos are definitely pretty happy right now, holding holding Trinity scoreless. Trinity's defense is known to stop offenses extremely well. Tufts' defense is not quite as proven, but definitely proving themselves right now. So that I think that the Jumbo's coach has got to be pretty happy with how his defense is playing right now. Hopefully going to talk to his offense here, and maybe they'll be able to put something together.
This is a matchup of a team tied for first in the NESCAC, Trinity at 4-0, and a team tied for third in the NESCAC at 3-1 in the Jumbos. But there's a lot of parity in the upper half of the standings right now. A total of 5 teams at 3-1 or 4-0. So it's anyone's game in the NESCAC, and this result of this game will be massive. McDonald looking to throw here. He's going to look long. He's got Jack Dolan, and he's going to just miss it. It's through his fingertips there. Dolan had to
fingertips. Been a fantastic ball.
Do you think they revisit that at some point? Because that was a fairly successful play, even without the completion.
He had some distance. It was definitely worth a shot. Big plays like that, quick touchdowns, can win football games.
Jumbo's overloading the short side of the field here with 3 wide receivers. Andrew Sanders in the backfield. He's going to take this carry to the outside here to the weak side. And he's going to go down for a loss of about 2 yards, but there's a flag on the field, and we'll wait to see what that is.
Absolutely nowhere for him to go. He was just standing in the backfield, probably thinking, there is nothing I can do right now.
Yeah, they attempted a little bit of misdirection, overloading, and it's going to be a holding penalty against the Jumbos, so it doesn't really matter anyway as it drops to a 2nd and 15. They attempted a little misdirection by overloading one side and running Sanders to the weak side, which, unsurprisingly, given your lack of blockers, didn't really work out.
Yeah, both teams have been looking to misdirection a lot, trying to utilize that in their offense. Did not work out there.
Jack Dolan walking around with a trainer on the sideline. Probably won't be much, though. He's got his helmet back on. And it's completed pass there. And almost a first down. We'll have to wait to the spot. On the catch there is number 8. That looks like Joe Nault on the reception.
Looked like a slip and slide as he went to the ground there. He slid across the grass, but got the first down.
Excuse me, Frank Roach, number 6, the junior from Arlington, Mass, on the reception there. And that will move the chains for the Jumbos. A 1st and 10 now. They'll be at their own 34. And on first down, here's the snap. It's going to be a running to play for Sanders. He's going to go to the inside this time and be taken down for a loss of 1. So the Jumbo's not really being able to move the ball on the ground.
It looked like he had a hold there too, but he got taken down as soon as he passed the offensive line. Nowhere to go at all. Trinity defense showing that they can stop the run.
Really strong linebackers for this Trinity side. We saw that there, and we saw that on the sack with Keneally. Combining with Pico Aurora and Liam there. It's a really strong unit on this team as McDonald's going to take it himself. He's going to the outside. Nice block there by the Jumbos. Winton Blunt, the tight end on that block, and McDonald will be taken down at the 42-yard, 43. No, excuse me, the 42-yard line. I was correct the first time for a nice gain of about 6.
And McDonald dropped back looking to throw to start, but after a second or two, he probably thought to himself, this is a play that I should run. I took it to the outside, pointed to his lineman to make the block, which he did. Got a nice gain there.
A 3rd and 2 now for the Jumbos. McDonald showing why he's the second leading rusher in the NESCAC behind Max Chipperos. So on the 3rd and short, it's going to be a handoff to Andrew Sanders. Almost brought down in the backfield, but now he's got some room. Makes some people miss, and he's brought down at the 38-yard line. A huge run by the sophomore. But it doesn't matter because Andrew Sanders has himself a huge gain.
And a fantastic juke at the line of scrimmage. It looked like he might go down for no gain, but somehow escaped, and there was a lot of room for him to run after that.
And so the Jumbos are in Bantams territory and trying to threaten here. They're going to give it a pass here, and it's complete. It's going to be a touchdown for the Jumbos. They're going all the way. That's Frank Roach. Made a man miss. Just had some open space and didn't look back. A touchdown for the Jumbos. 6-0 Tufts.
And the Jumbos with the huge, big first points throw that nice slant over the middle. They've done it a couple times already. Looks like both Trinity defenders went in for the hit and both missed at the same time, allowing him to escape into the backfield with nobody to stop him from scoring a touchdown.
We'll see the replay here. Roach just making it all the way, making it look easy once he was in space. He'll take a breather now as Matthew Alswanger will attempt this extra point. He's missed one on the year, 15 for 16. And it's good, 16 for 17 for Matthew Alswanger, and the Jumbos shattered the 5.5 points per game average of the Trinity defense by scoring a touchdown. It's Frank Roach, a big receiving touchdown on a pass by Ryan McDonald, and just like that, the Jumbos, once our scoreboard updates, will go up by a score of 7-0 here. So now it's on balls in Trinity's court to respond.
And so now the Jumbos are definitely going to be happy with a big defensive performance. They don't need any more points to win the game. 7-0 is enough.
It's not 72-0.
So
some people in this crowd may wish it were, but
Jumbo's definitely feeling good. Off to a great start to this second quarter.
And two big plays by the Jumbos. First, Andrew Sanders taking it into Bantams territory, and then Frank Roach taking it to the pay dirt. Put the Jumbos up, and that's what the Jumbos need to do for the rest of this game, isn't it? Get big plays.
It is what they need to do. They need to make big stops. They need to control offensive possessions, and hopefully they'll be able to keep it moving.
It's a short kickoff by Alswanger, received by number 10, Colin Beaulieu, and he's going to get a short return in turn. That'll take him all the way to the 26-yard line, and that's where the Bantams will start.
That kick was pretty short, did not look promising, but they were able to make the stop before the 30-yard line, which is decent for special teams defense there.
Do you think that was aided by the fact that Beaulieu opted to let that ball bounce once before picking it up?
Yeah, I mean, if he had caught it on the air in stride, it might have been a little bit easier for him to get some yardage, but once it bounces in that wet grass, it's a little bit more difficult.
So here's the Jumbos defense again. There are 3 sacks already in this game, making a meal of a really strong offensive line on the Bantams, led by all-NESCAC first-teamer Chris Simmons in the guard position. It's going to be a handoff to Chipper Ross, and his space is going to dissolve quickly as he's dropped for a gain of about 1. Chris Simmons was a D3 National second team last year, perhaps the best offensive lineman in the entire division. There are also 2 second-team All-NESCAC players at right tackle and right guard in Austin Ballardy and Joe Farah. But the Jumbos defensive line of Atticus, Thomas, and Harrison have been making it look easy here, as shown on that run play. 2nd and 8 here after a gain of 2 for Chipper Ross. Puzzo is looking to pass. And he's going to go to Gerard, and he's got room to run. Gerard past the 40, and he's going to be brought down all the way to the 32. A huge gain for John. About 4 or so.
A huge play there for Trinity. We saw it for the Jumbos on that touchdown, but Trinity here with the slant play, he breaks into some open space for a significant gain.
And he's going to take it himself, Puzzo, and he's going to be tackled for a loss there. It's Mike Atticus on the stop.
Jumbo's doing a great job defending the rush on this possession. That big pass play, though, is definitely going to possibly bite them in the butt here.
Still a little outside of field goal range, though, so a Jumbo stop here would probably lead to a 4th down attempt. But we're 2 downs away from that. It's a 2nd and 13 after that 3-yard tackle for loss by Mike Atticus. Puzzo, who's done pretty well on his feet with 110 yards so far this season on the ground, has not been able to make any moves here so far. It's going to be a fake handoff to Chipper Ross, looking deep. It's Puzzo, flag on the field. It'll probably be a holding call as Atticus takes him down throwing, and it'll go out of bounds for an incompletion. And a nice diving catch there on the top sideline by one of the athletes in plain clothes who gets mopped by his teammates. We'll see what the flag is here. It happened as the pocket was dissolving, so it would lead you to assume holding, but we'll wait for official word. And it is. It's a hold against Trinity. It's a 10-yard penalty, so it'll negate that incompletion, but move the Bantams back to a 2nd and 23.
And that holding was pretty obvious as the lineman came around the outside. He just held on to his shoulder, did not let him run around where he could have potentially gotten a sack.
And that penalty looked to be on Simmons there. And this Jumbo's defensive performance, you have to say, is all coming on the strength of that defensive line.
It really is. 3 sacks, and we're only a little bit into the second quarter. Definitely on pace to reach the 5 that they had last week, possibly more.
2nd and 23 here for Trinity. Here's the snap. It's going to be a screen to Kobe Schofer. He's got some room to run and is chased out of bounds by number 23 for the Jumbos. That's J.P. Garcia putting him off enough to get to the touchline. And so a short gain there. We'll take it to a 3rd and about 17, a 3rd and 18 to be precise.
You sometimes question short plays like that on extremely long yardage situations, but 5 yards is 5 yards, so Trinity, I guess, will take it.
So now they need 18. It's 3rd down. 3rd downs have not been going well for the Bantams. Trying to change that is Sonny Puzzo. He's going to look deep. He's got Gerard, and he's overthrown him.
We've seen that a lot here. Deep balls just simply being overthrown. Not a lot of opportunity for the receivers to get under it.
Gerard had room there, though.
He did have room. He had separation from the defender, but the throw was just a little bit out of his reach. It takes a lot of precision to drop a ball in right into their hands like that in stride.
And a little conservative play calling here by Jeff Devaney. We're going to see the punt team from the 38-yard line on a 4th and 18. Makes sense given the odds of converting it. And it's a high punt from McDonald. Dolan's going to collect it on a bounce and take it back. He's got a little room, and he's dropped around the 22-yard line. An okay return by the junior.
Definitely dangerous to catch it on the bounce, but he managed to make it happen and get a couple yards there.
The Jumbos scored 7 on their last drive. They're going to try and do that again here from their own 21. It's McDonald and Sanders in the backfield. Maybe a little reward for the sophomore Sanders after a big rush play on the last drive to get this series as well. And this handoff, McDonald's taking it himself. He's got a little bit of room, and he's ends up either tripping or getting a little ankle hold for a loss of 2 or 3 yards.
He turned to his left, looking to run left, and there was a defender right there. So he simply tried to outrun him to the right, but was not fast enough to get away.
Took him a little while to actually get moving there with the fake.
It did. He had to get his footing, and the defender already had his speed going, managed to take him down from behind.
2nd and 11, loss of 1 on the last play. This is going to be a flag before the play begins. Referee has an offensive lineman roll into him. It's going to be a false start on Josh Thibault, the junior from Durham, Maine, the engineering major. And that'll move the Jumbos back to a 2nd and 16 now.
This is not the best field position for the Jumbos, very near to their own end zone, 2nd and 16. They're going to want to look to push this upfield.
Second and 16 from their own 15 here. Jack Dolan in motion. It's the snap. McDonald looking to pass. He's got a receiver. It's Jack Dolan, and he's got some room. He breaks some tackles, and he fooled me. I thought he was down, and he made it all. 19 yards.
That was incredibly impressive. It looked like he broke 3 or 4 tackles at the same time there. He was like sitting on a defender. You see the replay here.
Yeah, and he manages to stay up, takes hits from 3 players, and just doesn't go down. Really nice balance there by Jack Dolan.
Looked like some of the hits managed to work as self-righting mechanisms, putting him back on his feet as opposed to knocking him to the ground.
And a little gyroscopic display by Jack Dolan takes the Jumbos for a 1st down after a long second. And Andrew Sanders has some room to run, but he's going to be brought down, I think, by his towel by a defensive lineman for the Bantams. A really nice play there by Trinity. That was Liam Keneally on the stop.
It's a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11 for Tufts.
Loss of 1 on the play there by Sanders. He'll stay in, try and make amends now. 2nd and 11. It's going to be a pass, a quick pass here to Frank Roach, who has the touchdown in this game, and he's going to get a gain of around 2 or 3 there. It's a little different than the 22 or so yard Gained out on his last catch.
McDonald's passes.
A nice game, but still sets the Jumbos up for 3rd and long here. 8 yards to go for the first down.
Yeah, 3rd and 8 from their own 37 for the Jumbos, but they have shown an ability to convert longer first downs.
It'll be 3rd and 8 for the Jumbos.
3 wide receivers. Sanders to the left and a little behind McDonald. All right, snap. McDonald handles it easily. He's going to give it to Sanders. Sanders has a little room to run, but is brought down right around the 38-yard line, and that'll be short of the first down marker.
And that throw just barely made it over the hand of the defender, but managed to make the completion, but only got 4 yards there. Not enough for the first down.
The Bantams with a stop on 3rd down, and Alex Lapiano will come out to punt and give it back to the Trinity offense here. 6 minutes left in the first half. Here's the punt. A little higher from Lapiano than he's used to, and it's a little surprising in terms of what Beaulieu was expecting, and it'll roll all the way to the 13-yard line. A beautiful punt by Alex Lapiano of about 50 yards in the end, and it'll be really difficult field position for the Bantams now from their own 13.
The Jumbos have looked really nice on special teams. A lot of very nice punts within the 20-yard line. Jumbos always have been right there as soon as the ball lands, really giving no room for any returns.
Lapiana has a NESCAC Player of the Week from special teams awarded to him earlier this season, showing those skills there. Bantams back on offense, 1st and 10. And it's going to be Chipper Ross. He's taking it to the outside. He cuts in, has some room, and that'll be a gain of around 9 even for Chipper Ross. So a nice first down run by him, and it'll be a 2nd and 1.
And Trinity's been doing well when they hand off on first down, getting significant gains.
A nice move there. Took him away from the outside and made him run a little more directly and ended up with a nice 9-yard gain. Here's Puzzo looking to pass quickly, and he's going to take it himself in the end. We see a flag down as eventually his diving down to the earth is assisted by Doug Harrison, but we'll wait to see the call on the field. In the meantime, he gained 3 or 4. But it's a defensive face mask there before the actual play was completed, and that'll be a first down for the Trinity Bantams.
And we haven't seen a whole lot of flags here in this game, but the ones that we have seen have been killers.
Yeah, we've seen two 15-yard penalties for the Jumbos now, one on offense and one on defense. And this one hurts them. It takes them out of a really good situation and pegs them back all the way now where the Bantams get to take it from the 38. So a little gimme from the Jumbos defense, and it'll be a 1st and 10. It's going to be taking it himself is Puzzo. He's got some blocks, but a really nice job getting back by number 88 on the defense by the looks of it for the Jumbos.
Puzzo on the carry for Trinity. McCoy Berger on the stop for the Jumbos.
Excuse me, that was McCoy Berger, number 98 on the tackle. Here's 2nd down. It's a pass and a hit. Doesn't really matter because it's a nice reception by number 29. That's the running back, Joe Samuelman.
Impressive that he held on to that ball. He got hit as soon as the ball was in his hands.
Showing off those soft hands here, and now it's going to be a toss to Chipper Ross. He's got some room on the outside. Takes it to the 47-yard line. A nice gain for him of about 4 yards. 5 yards, even. Excuse me.
This has been a drive of small gains for Trinity, 5-6 yard gains per play, but it's been working well as they're marching right up the field.
They were helped out a little by the flags.
Indeed.
So a 2nd and 5 now. It'll be Puzzo taking it himself, and he's going to run right into a Jumbo's defender and take him down with him.
Puzzo on the carry for Trinity.
Another small gain sets up a 3rd and 1. We've seen Puzzo run it a few times on this drive.
3rd and 1, Tim Preston on the stop. Now it's to Chipper Ross, and he's going to make it right to the 40-yard line, and that's going to be good enough to move the chains. didn't have a lot of room or a lot of space to get, and in the end, it makes it work.
Looked like the Jumbos were trying to do everything they could to clog that line, but 1 yard is hard to defend.
So it'll be a 1st and 10, so they'll have a little more to defend now from their own 40-yard line. It's going to be a fake handoff to Chipper Ross and a short pass now out to Samuelman, and Samuelman will be down for a gain of 1.
Jumbos have been showing great coverage on open field plays off to the sidelines.
And they've been reading those screens all day.
They have.
Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Charlie Driver with Phil Sprague here. And it's a 2nd and 9 for the Trinity Bantams. From the shotgun, a little jump on defense, and we'll see a flag. So it's a free play for the Bantams, and that free play will almost wind up with a Samuelman reception, but instead it'll just be a move up on the penalty.
And you can see him pretty obviously jumping off sides there.
And that'll be Doug Harrison penalized. It could have been any number of Jumbos on that defensive line, and another costly penalty there. That'll make it now a 2nd and 4. So nice job there by the Bantams offensive line and quarterback to catch the Jumbos off guard and draw that flag. So it's 4 yards to the 1st down marker. It's Puzzo. Got a player in motion. He's going to fake the handoff to Chauffeur and go to pass. Under some pressure, going to find Chauffeur in the end, and Chauffeur's got some room to run and pushed out of bounds by Greg Holt. Enough for the 1st down. A gain of around 15 yards for Kobe Chauffeur.
And a nice play there as things were sort of falling apart there for Trinity, but Chauffeur was wide open on the sideline. Once he was seen, it was wide open running for him for that 15-yard gain.
Puzzo looking to pass quick. He's going to roll out and take it himself instead, and he's going to slide down for no gain there. So thought he had some room, but the Jumbos covered him quickly.
A smart slide there. He didn't want to risk getting clobbered. He really had nowhere to go.
And that'll lead us into a timeout taken by Trinity. And so Jeff Devaney, now that we're in a almost a red zone situation, is maybe trying to figure out what to do against the Jumbos defense that's stymied them at every turn.
And this has happened a couple times. Trinity has got into nice field position, set themselves up for a score, and the Jumbos have made big stops. So maybe the Jumbos will be able to do that again here. Trinity's definitely going to talk it over and try to find a way to punch it into the end zone and tie up the game.
This has been perhaps Trinity's most successful drive since their first. And what do you think has led to that success?
I think they've probably learned as they've gone. They got the ball pretty far back. They were helped out by a couple of penalties, but they've been slowly chipping away, not going for as many huge plays, instead opting for the 5-6 yard gains, really working the ball up the field. It's been working. Maybe the Jumbos will make some adjustments right here to put more of an emphasis on stopping that. We'll see what happens.
Trinity getting in a last word here as the Jumbos defense is now waiting for him. Last year, Trinity won this matchup in Connecticut by a score of 36-28, which is a scoreline that flatters the Jumbos slightly. They scored 14 unanswered right at the death, but they had been down 36-14. Part of a 9-game winning streak for the Bantams against the Jumbos. Trying to make it 10 here, down 7. Here's the snap. He's going to fake a handoff to Chipper Ross. Puzzo is going to look to the end zone. He's got Chauffeur, and Chauffeur's in for a touchdown. Wide open reception there by the sophomore wide receiver, and just like that, we're going to have a tie again.
Coverage as the star wide receiver for Trinity is left wide open to walk into the end zone.
And very easy there for the Bantams. We've been hyping up that drive all through that timeout, and it ends just like that. Kobe Chauffeur just gets to stand there, catch it, and take a few steps into the end zone to put his point on the board. His team on the board. That's his 4th touchdown of the season.
The Jumbo secondary have not made a lot of mistakes, but that one was costly.
Here's Eric Sashi, 18 for 18 on PATs, making 19 for 19 as the junior puts it through the uprights and ties this game up as 7 with 1:50 to go in the first half.
And Trinity 7.
So an unfortunate end to a drive that had been a real strong performance by the Bantams offense, and the Jumbos are going to have to make some adjustments probably over halftime unless they get a 3-and-out here in terms of offense.
Jumbo's definitely going to want to look to utilize the last 150 on the clock. That's definitely enough time to get up the field, possibly put some points on the board. They also will get the ball to start in the second half, so they could possibly double up here.
In terms of your field goal watch, Matthew Alswanger is 3 for 4 on them for the season, but as we've seen in terms of when teams have been going for it in fourth down, the range here is about 35 to 40 yards is probably stretching it for the kicker, so the Jumbos will have to get it between the 20 and 30-yard line here with 1:50. So there aren't 2-minute drills in the NESCAC because we don't have a 2-minute warning, but it'll be the equivalent of that for the Jumbos here once they get this kick.
Jumbo's definitely not going to want to go for 5-6 yard gains here as they only have so much time left on the clock. Going to want to try to get some big yard plays here to possibly get some points.
Here's Sashi walking back to take the kick. Interesting by the Trinity uniform team, they have nameplates on these uniforms. That's not something you see a lot. A little personalization. This is going to be returned by Jack Dolan. And we're going to see that play whistle dead. Jay Savetti is angry about that. I think they're calling it as a fair catch, but I'm not sure if Dolan made any signal for that. Do you have any idea what this could be, Phil?
The only thing I saw he faked a lateral. Thought that looked a little bit cheeky, but I do not know what the referee is calling here.
Well, the call is going to be to place this ball at the 9-yard line, which is the last thing that the Tufts offense would have wanted and the last thing that they were intending for. But they'll have to work with it. And so they'll get the ball at the 9-yard line with 1:45 to go in the first half.
I'm a little bit baffled by this. I hope that at some point there's some clarification as to what this call is.
Either way, it's 1st and 10 for the Jumbos. They're going to run it with Mike Pedrini. He's going to go up the middle and bring a few men with him and end up getting a gain of 4 or 5. So a nice first down run for Pedrini, and that'll have the double effect of winding down this clock a little just in case they can't convert this first down. Each team with 2 timeouts left. There's a snap to McDonald on a 2nd and 4. He's going to look to pass, and De Leon was double covered and didn't even see the ball before it was past him, an incompletion. 3rd and 4 now.
And in this field position on a 3rd down here, if they can't convert, they will set the Trinity up in decent position to possibly go for some points of their own in the last couple seconds of the game. That's definitely not what the Jumbos wanted coming into this drive.
Here's a snap to McDonald. He's going to look to pass. He's going to do a screen to Pedrini here, a little check down. And Mike Pedrini, we're going to see the stop here, but it looks like he's going to be 2 yards short.
On field goals, 37 for 37 on extra points.
He's already missed one this year, though, but he made it before he was iced, and now it's blocked! It's blocked there by number 9. Huge play to end the half, and it keeps it level as the Jumbos defend time before they head to the locker room.
I don't think either team was expecting that to be the outcome there, but a great defensive play by the Jumbos. Stopped those 3 points, kept it tied going into halftime, and they'll get the ball to start the second half, and they'll be feeling good about that.
And we'll see what Jay Savetti and Jeff Devaney have to say in the halftime talk, and we'll join you in 15 minutes for the second half. But in the meantime, I think we have a video that we're going to show you from athletics of last week's game against Bowdoin in just a few minutes.
Selflessness and teamwork was the key. Nick, what about you? What was the key to success today? Folks, I love it. Fam, so we got his mom on the winning team. Let's give him a hand.
Want to get back to the light show?
Folks, we're not done yet. Not done yet. We got our next segment up right now. Catch a pass with a jumbo. For today's jumbo, we got your head coach, my boss, Casey Adolfo. Let's give him a hand. Coach D, when was the last time that you threw a pass over 40 yards?
2009.
And you still got it, right?
You got it.
You want to hit first. Coach Adolfo still has it, still got the gun, still has the arm. On my, we have our participants here. Can we get your names? Michael. Trevor. Chris, who's your favorite player on the Tufts football team? Jack Dolan, number 15, beast wide receiver. What's your favorite meal at the whip?
Friday.
Fried eggs every Monday. The crispy bacon. I love it. Winnie Steady in the fish library.
I know, I thought too.
He's focused. He's locked in. He's ready to go. All right, who we got up front? Who we got? We're going into this end zone down here. Here we go, Jumbo fans.
So, what do they have to do?
I'm not clear. I think they're catching passes.
Oh, is it like a race? Oh, they all have to catch
No,
passes.
it's just catch a pass.
Oh, Moose. Probably should have laid out for that one. We'll see if our other participants can get there. Here we go. Next one's up.
This is better than the homecoming game.
I love the fact that I got his helmets.
Pass number 2. Here we go, folks.
Post route.
Back shoulder throw. Oh, it's complete.
That's an easier
6 jumbos. We love it. Give it up.
The receiver makes it easy.
Pass number 3.
No,
Let's see
the
if Coach
throw is
Walker
higher.
can make it 2 for 3 on the day.
Can you believe that fair catch call?
That was,
I was so confused.
I was like, what? In what world would we have called for a fair catch there?
I
didn't even see a fair catch call.
Clearly a mistake.
Yeah, he caught it on his knee is what they said.
Oh, really?
So he was down by
This is today's edition of Bantams. I'm your assistant men's lacrosse coach, John Sachs. Thanks so much. Go Jumbos.
And welcome back to Ellis Oval. Charlie Driver here with Phil Sprague. 7-7 at halftime. I'd like to apologize for those of you, I think all of you who missed part of the Trinity drive that resulted in a blocked field goal at the end of the half. That was just a result of our Wi-Fi busting connection. I personally blame the parents who were sapping our resources. But either way, that was a nice drive that featured a long completion to Clifford David, and then a huge Jumbo's 4-down stop resulting in a blocked field goal attempt by Eric Sashi. In the meantime, it's 7-7 at the start of the third quarter. The Jumbos scored in the second as a result of a 39-yard pass from Ryan McDonald to Frank Roach. Meanwhile, Kobe Schofer scored the touchdown for the Trinity College Bantams on a 24-yard pass from their quarterback, Sonny Puzzo. Phil, it was a great half of football despite there only being 14 points.
It was a good game for both sides of the field. Both teams are showing why they want to win this game. It's big for both of them in the chase for NESCAC championship. Pivotal for Tufts. If they don't win this game, they probably lose their chance at a NESCAC championship this year. Trinity is showing why they've won 13 straight games, why they are the dominant team right now from most people's perspectives. But Tufts is showing why they are also in that argument and why they could potentially make what would be by most people an upset here and make that chase for NESCAC championship more of a reality.
And the big story for both teams is their inability to run the ball. Andrew Sanders is the leading rusher for Tufts with a total of 4 for 13 with a long gain of 19 yards. So he's run for negative yardage, grand total of 3 of 4 times. Meanwhile, Max Japoris has 8 for 44 for the Bantams, but the biggest story of all in terms of rushing stats is Ryan McDonald coming into this game, second in the NESCAC in rushing. He has a grand total of negative 6 yards on 5 carries, which is a far cry from the 70-something that he ran for last week against Bowdoin.
And Trinity is known for their defense. They have the least yards per game allowed in the NESCAC this year. Tufts is actually approaching that number. They're at 162 total yards. I believe that Trinity allows about 222 a game. So Tufts will probably break that mark at some point, but their rushing game has not been strong at all. McDonald has not found much room. He's found himself running into a lot of defenders with really nowhere to go. And that's been the story of the running game. They've been pretty reliant on the air game. So hopefully they'll make some adjustments and be able to fix that in the second half.
And we'll get a chance to see if they can fix it straight away because they're going to receive the ball first here. The kickoff is going to come off from Eric Sashi. And the third quarter is going to start here with a kickoff. 2 back to receive for the Jumbos.
Not the 30-second quarter for anybody who's looking at the quarter monitor.
And there's the return. It's going to be a faked lateral there. Jack Dolan on the return. He's past the 20, making it all the way up to the 26-yard line, and a nice 20-something yard return for Dolan. A little bit different than his last return, which ended in a call that the officials said he received the ball at the 9 while on his knees. And that's a little explanation of what happened there. And so the Jumbos will get it now at the 26-yard line in their own half. Mike Pedrini out as the running back with Ryan McDonald, and the Jumbos are going to try and ramp up their running game and keep their air game at the sustainable pace it's been going so far. McDonald had 146 yards passing in that first half. We're going to see a handoff to Mike Pedrini now, and he's got some space, and he'll take it all the way to the 31-yard line. That's a gain of 4 yards for the freshman.
And we'll see if the Jumbos try to maintain a steady pace of handoffs, or if they try to do more, maybe try to push the running game a little bit more, or if they try to lean more on their passing game in the second half. We'll see how they adjust.
2nd and 5 now. And the snap to McDonald. He's going to find Pedrini on the short pass. Pedrini is going to try and get somewhere. He's going to get about 3 yards, but there's a flag down and also down is Ryan McDonald. But he's going to get back up to his feet and looks to be okay. It's going to be roughing the passer. That's what beat up McDonald a little, and that's going to be a 15-yard gain. And it looks like McDonald's going to be a little nice and give the flag back to the official and then walk up to the Jumbo's new line of scrimmage, which is going to be all the way at the 48-yard line. So a big penalty for the Jumbos there, and they'll get it all the way around midfield. Snap to McDonald. He's looking to pass deep. He's looking for Dan DeLeon, who's got some separation and lays out for it, and it's just a little too far. Nice coverage by number 15, Dominic Seegers, on the defensive side there. He's got one interception this season, but he'll settle there for an incompletion.
That's another deep pass that we see down the sideline. We've seen a lot of those this game, and we have not seen one be completed. Every single time it's been a little bit too far out of the reach for the receiver to get their hands on it.
So 2nd and 10 here. 4 wide receivers for the Jumbos, but it's McDonald who's going to take it himself, and he's not going to get anywhere. Somehow manages to dive for a gain of about 1, brought down there by number 87.
And that's been the story of the Jumbos rushing game today. They really have not been able to get anywhere. You saw McDonald there. He was spinning around looking for somewhere to go, and there was just no opening, surrounded on all sides.
Yeah, James Cristiano on the stop there. So it's a 3rd and 8. Good job by McDonald actually getting yardage on that. Didn't look like he was going to get for it. And he's looking to pass now. In the pocket, which has plenty of time. Throws a pass out. It's picked in. It's an interception on the tip-off. An interception by number 20, John Medina. And he's got to return all the way to the 45-yard line. And a huge tip and pick for the Bantams. That's second interception of the day for Ryan McDonald.
And that's a costly mistake. He should have caught that ball probably. It looked like it was right in his hands, and it just bounced up right into the hands of the defender for the easy interception.
That's Medina's first interception of the year. He has 4 breakups and now can add to that stat line a little. The bio major from Miami, Florida. And the Bantams are going to get the ball now at the 45-yard line after that interception and return. And just like that, any momentum the Jumbos may have had from blocking that kick at the end of the first half is completely gone. And it's now Sonny Puzo's chance to build on this tie game and get the Bantams their first lead of the game. Handoff to Max Chipperos. He's running towards the sideline, and he's going to go out of bounds around the 40-yard line. Going to spot him at the 39, a gain of 4.
Trinity going back to the handoff. They handed it off 21 times in the first half, which was significantly more than Tufts. They had significantly more success as well with 54 yards. So it looks like they'll keep going for those small rushing gains early in the down.
2nd and 6 from the 41 now. And they're going to fake to Chipperos and go for the quick pass, and it's caught by number 45. That's Clifford David, his 2nd catch of the game, and it's a nice first down for the Bantams, who are moving the chains fast here on this drive.
After the sloppy turnover by the Jumbos, the Bantams look like they're just taking what they want once again.
And it's going to be a quick handoff to Chipperos. He's not really got much space to run. He's brought down by Doug Harrison for a short gain of 3 or 4.
We've seen a number of times the Bantams get within their own 40 or 30-yard line, and the Jumbos have made some big stops in this area of the field. So we'll see if they can keep that up in the second half.
And so a 2nd and 9 here, gain of 1 on that last play. It's looking for the end zone now. Well, a little short of the end zone. Intended was Samuelman, but it's going to be way out of bounds, overthrown by Puzo.
Didn't look to be much separation there. That ball sailed right out of bounds.
Kobe Schofer has been the undisputed bell cow in terms of wide receivers on this team in the first half. 8 receptions to Samuelman's 2, the next leading receiver. 74 yards and that long 24-yard touchdown in the first half. A little shy of his 202 last week, but he'll take it. So a 3rd and 9 here. Jumbo's trying to shut the door on 3rd down yet again. 2 for 8 so far. And that's Samuelman receiving it, but he's going to be dropped short of that first down line. They're going to spot him at the 18. They had to get to the 16 to get that conversion, and it's going to be a 4th down. 4th and 2.
Fourth down and 2.
And we'll see what the Bantams do, but it looks like they're going to bring out their kicker.
Last time the Trinity lined up for a kick, it was, of course, blocked by the Jumbos. We'll see if they can convert this one and take a lead here.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but Puzzo is holding this one. I don't know if he's been doing that all game, but that might be something to watch. Trick plays are not uncommon in the NESCAC, but in this case, it's a field goal attempt. And it's going to be no good. Wide right from Eric Sashi. And so he's 0 for 2 on his 2 attempts. The first one blocked, the second one missed, and that'll drop him to 4 for 6 on the year. Far cry from his perfect record last season.
And the Jumbos are happy about that. A gift from God against arguably the best kicker in the NESCAC. Definitely last year. Maybe we'll see a change of pace from him this year, but Jumbos are pretty happy about that.
And so the Jumbos get a good defensive stop again, which is what we've seen most every time that they've gotten in. They've gotten pegged back in their own territory. And that time, the big play was just Puzzo's inability to complete a pass. And when he did to Samuelman, it was just a little short. So now we're 1st and 10 from the Jumbos 20. McDonald threw an interception, last time to Medina. And this is going to be a handoff to Mike Pedrini, who's going to take it up the gut for a gain of 4 yards. So the Jumbos still not necessarily working it on the ground, but a little better than last quarter, especially for Pedrini, who had a 3 for 9 last time. This time McDonald's going to take it himself. He's got some nice blocks to the outside, and he's brought down. That'll be a gain of about 3 yards. On the stop there was number 55 for Trinity. That's Liam Keneally. So a 3rd and 6. Gain of 2 on that play for McDonald.
Gain of 3, it'll be 3rd and 4 for the Jumbos.
And the snap, it looked like there was a jump there, but I don't see a flag. He's going to look to pass to De Leon. De Leon jumps, and he makes a nice catch over the shoulder of the defender. Yard line, a 24-yard gain.
And that's a great catch, exercising his height, simply getting up over the defender, catching it over his head.
It's a gain of 23.
And it's a huge play there for the Jumbos, and they'll get a 1st down, converting that 3rd and getting them all the way up to midfield. Looked like it was Seegers on the coverage there. Handoff, McDonald takes it himself, faking the handoff convincingly, and uses the space that he earns with that fake to take it for 4 yards. And so he's back up to 0 yards rushing on the day, which is progress, but maybe not the stat line that he would have wanted at the 10-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. Here's a snap on 2nd and 6. This time it's Pedrini, and Pedrini's going to get up there to a 1st down almost. That's a gain of 5 for the freshman. And that'll take it to a 3rd and 1. So the Jumbos moving the ball efficiently on the ground now. A gain of 5 and building on a gain of 4.
And 2 decent-looking runs there, a lot better than we saw in the first half, where most of their rushing yards came from 1 run. So the Jumbos definitely going to look to keep carrying that type of rushing momentum.
4 wide receivers, 3 on the short side of the field for the Jumbos here, 3rd and 2. And it's going to be a handoff. Mike Pedrini up the middle, and he's going to get the 1st down. He's going to get chased back, but forward progress, there's no doubt about that. He made it, and then 1 yard. And we're going to see the chains move here as Mike Pedrini gets the 1st down.
And the Jumbos get the 1st down on 3 straight rushes.
And this is more like what the Jumbos had intended to do in the first half. 1st and 10 here, 39-yard line is the spot of the ball. Snap to McDonald. He's going to look to pass under some pressure. Nice blocking by the Jumbos, and it's Dan De Leon at the 20. Nice tackle by the Bantams defense, but less than nice coverage there as De Leon's a 29-yard catch. Excuse me, a 19-yard catch. His second big catch of the drive.
It looked like he lost his defender. He was relatively wide open.
Here's the snap. McDonald rolling out to his right. He's pursued by Keneally. Gets the pass off, and it's caught by the Jumbos up to the 12-yard line there. Is Winton Blunt, the tight end.
Nice heads-up play there as he was scrambling, did not have a lot of room. Saw the open man, dumped it off for 8 yards right there.
Jumbos upping the tempo inside the red zone. 2nd and 2 at the 12. Pedrini still to back. And he's going to take some time here. to sort things out. And Blunt actually looks a little shaken up. He's going to go down there. Sort of an interesting submission. McDonald noticed he was off and told him, you can go down a little if you want to. And Winton Blunt's going to be helped off the field here. We'll hope he's okay. And coming in to replace him is Jack Donahue, the sophomore from Cohasset, Massachusetts, who already has a catch in this game. So maybe not the biggest loss for the Jumbos. We'll hope to see Blunt again soon. From Alabama, the sophomore making a role for himself now as a tight end. So a 2nd and 3 from the 13. It's going to be McDonald taking himself. He's got some room past the 10, up to the 5, diving, landing around the 4-yard line, and a big run from Ryan McDonald. Gets the first down, and it's 1st and goal at the 4 now.
There's like a flag thrown after the play.
There's a flag on the play.
And that's going to be against the Jumbos, you would assume, given McDonald's, the look on McDonald's face there. Yeah, and that's unsportsmanlike conduct on Ryan McDonald. So you have to think that probably the referees heard something there.
Yeah, once again, unsportsmanlike conduct. That's the 2nd penalty for the Jumbos, and those are penalties that you hate to give up. They are completely unnecessary, just useless loss of yardage. Especially
at the 4-yard line. He got that gain to a 1st and goal, and it's going to remain 1st and goal.
Just a little bit farther.
No, excuse me. It's actually not going to remain 1st and goal. It's just going to be a 1st and 10 now from the 19-yard line. Loss of 15 on that penalty.
That run was arguably McDonald's best of the game. That's what he's been looking to do. He finally got it done and then lost all that yardage.
And he's gone out now to talk to Jack Dolan. He's coming back under center now. 15 seconds on the play clock, so he's got plenty of time for a little chit-chat. And the snap now. He's going to look to pass. Looking to the end zone, looking for De Leon, and it's intercepted again. This time it's Medina. Medina's got to run, and he's got some room to run, and he's still going at the 40. He's going to the 50, the 40. He's going to get it a pick 6 here. 20, 10, and it's a touchdown. It's actually Dominique Seegers, number 15. That's his 2nd interception of the day. And 14-7 when we thought the Jumbos would have taken the lead. It's the Bantams who strike with the defense.
And that penalty really comes back to bite as opposed to being 4 yards outside the end zone. They're about 20 yards outside the end zone. Tried to throw that over-the-shoulder throw again. That worked for them last time for like 30 yards, but that time it's just a little bit too low, not high enough for him to get up over the defender. The defender makes the catch and shows off his speed and runs 100 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, it's a really nice job by Seegers to get into some space and evade all the Jumbos in there, the Bantams half of the field, and then he just has an easy stroll into the end zone. And here's the extra point attempt, and it's blocked again by the Jumbos. 2nd block of the day, and this one could go all the way back. Jumbos special teams player, he's going to take this all the way. So we got 2 runs to the touchdown, to the end zone here. This time for Jumbos, it's number 26, Tim Preston, the quarterback, returning a blocked punt to the end zone on the extra point attempt. And it'll be 13 to, I believe, 9. I think that's a 2-point conversion there for the Jumbos. And wow, this is exciting.
One of the stranger turns of events that we've seen here. A 100-yard pick 6 by the Bantams. A blocked kick. The entire length of the field for 2 points.
That's Tim Preston there with what amounts to, I believe, around an 80-yard return on the blocked extra point, and so it's 9-13, a score you won't necessarily see too often.
It's not often that you see a defensive 2-point conversion, but
and we have been waiting. We have been waiting so long for any scoring, and just like that, we have 2 returns, one from defense with Seegers is a 100-yard pick 6, and then an 80-yard or so return by Tim. See here, once the holder couldn't get to it, Preston was just away and had no one but his speed to fight with.
Jumbos must be an emotional wreck right now, bouncing up and down, interception, touchdown, blocked kick, all over the place right now. And you got to wonder right now if they're feeling the sting of that pick 6 or if they're full of elation for returning that for 2 points.
Yeah, they must be an emotional wreck because I am in the booth. And that's one of the more exciting spells of football that you will ever see in your life. Back-to-back returns now, and maybe a little return to normalcy now as Sashi gets ready to kick it off to the Jumbos. You never know. What do you think? Third trip to the end zone here on this return?
Kickoff return for a touchdown would be perfect right now.
A little won't back down now, playing by Tom Petty. Poignant choice and a nice tribute to the musician who passed away a few weeks ago. The Jumbos don't back down with that long return. Not sure what's happening here with the referee. A little question with perhaps placement of players. But we're going to get this underway now. Linesman looks happy enough. And here's the kickoff. That's deep, right around the 5. It's returned by Dolan. Dolan's going to take this. He's at the 20. He's got some nice blocks, finding some room. Jack Dolan, and he's going to be brought down at the 38-yard line. So for the first time in 3 plays, the ball does not find a way into the end zone. And the Jumbos will nevertheless get nice field position at their own 37.
Not quite a touchdown, but a nice run. Sets the Jumbos up in decent field position just inside the 40-yard line.
Yep, and that's going to be placed at the 37. So now the Jumbos will get their first attempt now. Ryan McDonald threw his 3rd pick, which was returned by Dominique Seegers to the end zone. And now he's going to try and get it into his own end zone. Oh, excuse me, the Trinity Bantams end zone. We wouldn't want that. That would be a safety. So 1st and 10 here from the 37. It's going to be McDonald taking it himself, and he's almost dropped. And he's got some nice moves there. Looked like a late hit almost by a defensive player, but no flag. Almost tackling him was number 56, Denzel Monroe. But McDonald, I don't know how, made it out of there and made it out with a no gain instead of a loss of yards.
And no yardage there, but showed some flares. He spun off the first defender and then dropped the second defender with a powerful stiff arm.
Yeah, and they'll actually give him a gain of 1 there, and he earned that 1 and perhaps more. But it'll only be a 2nd and 9 now from the pistol. Fakes a handoff to Pedrini under pressure. He's going to throw short and a little too high there for the intended receiver. That was Jack Donahue, number 85. And so it'll be a 3rd and 9 for the Jumbos.
Defense was converging on him quick. He had to get that ball out of his hands. Rushed it a little bit. Wasn't able to complete that pass.
7 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
It's kind of nice being on the mic on camera, right?
Ryan McDonald. Behind him is Mike Pedrini. He's going to look to pass here on the 3rd down. Under some pressure. Pass up to De Leon and almost intercepted again there. On the coverage there was number 20, John Medina, and that was just overthrown by McDonald. Had De Leon perhaps with a chance of catching it.
And McDonald was laid out as he let go of that ball, so you have to wonder if that influenced where the throw ended up. If he had not been hit so hard as he was throwing, he may have been able to complete that pass.
But in the end, it's an incompletion, and so Alex Lapiana comes in to punt. Trinity is going to get the ball back. It's going to be their first possession of the quarter. And a fair catch is called for, and that'll be at the 33-yard line. So a nice mid-range punt there from Alex Lapiana. And starting at the 33 will be the Trinity Bantams. Excuse me, the 38. No, the 33-yard line. I'm right. The scoreboard is wrong. That's how it should be. So at the 33 will be Sonny Puzo and the Trinity Bantams offense.
Trinity takes over 1st and 10 on their own 33-yard line.
A lot of blockers in the backfield now for Puzo and Chipperos. And it's going to be a handoff. Chipperos has some room to run. He's got the 1st down and a little bit more. Taking it up the middle to the 46-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 13 for the junior. Average 5.5 in the first half. That one went for much longer.
And that run shows us there why he is the #1 rusher in the NESCAC this year.
And they kind of telegraphed that run, loading up with blockers, but it didn't matter. Nothing the Jumbos could do to stop Max Chipperos. We'll see if they give it to him again here. They don't. They opt for a pass. Chauffeur almost intercepted by the Jumbos there. And Alex Lapiana brings down. Chauffeur at the 49-yard line. So into Jumbo's territory go the Bantams. And a gamble taken there by Brett Phillips. The safety almost came to something as he read the screen, but just missed it. And that'll get a gain of around 6 for the Bantams.
And we're seeing once again Trinity's been doing a great job marching down the field. It's only once they get inside the 40 or 30 that they show some struggles with being able to punch it in when they have not much distance left to go.
2nd and 4, the snap. Fakes handoff to Chipperos. Puzo's going to take it himself, and he's going to get the first down. He went right up to the 44 there, and it looks like that's going to be enough to move the chains, but they might want to measure this. And actually, no, with the placement of that ball, looks like it's going to be short, but they'll bring a measurement out for that. I think that's a less than generous spot of the ball, by the way it looked like Puzo ended up. Either way, it's a nice carry for about 4 yards by the quarterback. And yep, it's going to be half a yard short there. And so it'll be 3rd and 1 from the 45-yard line.
You have to expect Trinity to run this ball, pound it through for half a yard.
And the 3rd and 1 for the Bantams. Here's a snap. It's going to be a handoff to Chipperos. He's up in there, and let's see. They're going to push him over. Really nice work by that big offensive line for the Bantams to push their running back over the line and get him to a first down.
And a huge pile there. Half of each team just piled in, and it fell forward enough for the first down.
Yeah, the scrum is won by the Bantams, and they'll get a first down as their prize as we go to 5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter of the 43-yard line. Snap to Puzo. He's going to fake a handoff to Chipperos and look to pass, and he's going to be sacked again. 5th sack of the day for the Jumbos. This time it's Mike Atticus. That's his 2nd of the game, and it's going to be a 4th and a little longer now for the Bantams, right around the 49-yard line.
Jumbos fans chanting for defense, and that's exactly what they got with that big sack and big hit. He's probably not feeling too good after taking that hit.
Yeah, 6-yard loss. Helped out. Atticus was helped out by Masomo Nwafor, but in the end, he was the one who finished it off.
And I believe that is the Jumbo's 5th sack of the game.
Yeah, and the Bantams are going to go for it here on a 2nd and, well, it's only 2nd and 16. I forgot it was a first down. That's my bad. And that'll go to the 48-yard line. A short run for Chipperos. A gain of around 2.
And that was another nice stop there by the Jumbos to set up a pretty long 3rd down attempt for Trinity.
Yeah, 3rd and 14, gain of 2 there on the carry. So a 3rd and long for the Bantams. Jumbo's still showing they have a little bit of pressure in them. They'll try and pressure Puzo again on a play that's most likely going to be a pass. 4 wide receivers for the Bantams. Chipperos in the backfield as well. He's going to go out for a route. Puzo looking to pass. He's going to take it himself, though. He's got some space to run, and he's going to make it almost all the way. That's going to be a gain of 12 for the senior, and he'll dive and land right at the 35-yard line. Greg Holt with the tackle. We'll see the nice close-up of Puzo's run there, brought down by the leading tackler in the NESCAC last year, and the NESCAC Rookie of the Year, Greg Holt, who once again leads the Jumbos in tackles.
This is another one of those weird field positions, so we'll see what they try to do here, if they punt it or kick it or try to go for it.
Well, they haven't had a lot of success kicking the ball so far, Phil.
Looks like they'll go back for the punt.
Jumbos have blocked 2 kicks. They'll try and block a punt here.
Looks like they don't have anybody back to return the punt.
Sashi out to punt. Yeah, they're going to not have anyone back, which is... Oh, excuse me. That'll be a false start on the offense. That was number 38 whistled there.
That might honestly make it a little bit easier for them to punt it, as previously. They were pretty close. Now he's got a little bit more room to slot it into the deep parts of the field.
So back now to the 40 for the punt. And it's a low snap, but recovered well by Sashi. He'll punt it. It's high. Dolan's going to fair catch this, but let it drop. And it's going to drop into the end zone there. Medina tried to maybe bat it back into play, but he failed to do so, and the Jumbos will get it at their own 25. The nice defensive stop by the Jumbos in the end there.
And that's been the story of the Jumbos defense. Trinity has shown a lot of offensive potential early on in their drives, and then the Jumbos have tended to step it up later on and make some big stops to force changes of possession.
Jumbos down 4, 13-9 right now. McDonald trying to do something in this in the offense now in the second half. Hasn't really been able to do anything other than throw a pick 6 so far. Andrew Sanders in the backfield with him now. Led the team with 13 yards rushing on 4 carries in the first half. Swaps over to McDonald's right side. McDonald's looking for the screen, but he's going to opt to go for DeLeon, and a little miscommunication between receivers there. DeLeon didn't know it was coming, and McDonald didn't even throw it to him. It was behind him, and that'll be an incompletion in what could have turned into a big gain.
And once again, the receiver was open. He just missed the mark, a little bit of miscommunication. They probably were both thinking the other was going to do something different, and it's just unfortunate that it happened that way.
So 2nd and 10 now. Empty backfield for McDonald. He's going to look to pass. And he's going to loft it up to Jack Dolan, who's got the catch in the first down, and he's going to be brought down out of bounds at the 36-yard line. That's a gain of 16 yards for the junior, and it'll move the chains.
Dolan has shown a lot of athleticism catching and running with the ball after the catch. We saw him break those tackles earlier on for the big gain, and once again there, after getting hit, he fought for a couple more yards.
Yeah, he's got 4 for 69, 4 for 59 so far in this game. Fakes the handoff to Sanders. McDonald's dropped it, and it's going to be down. Let's see what the call is. Bantams are calling for it. And they've got it, so a costly fumble for Ryan McDonald there, and the Bantams are going to get the ball in the Jumbos half there.
And that's just sloppy play right there. It looked like he simply dropped it. I don't know if he was trying to shovel it or if he just lost it.
Recovery was by Liam Keneally, who limps a little off the field, but in the large grand scheme of things, his first fumble recovery of the year is a huge pivotal play in this game. Especially so if the Bantams can convert this.
That'll be McDonald's 4th turnover of the game, I think.
So we talked a lot about the Bantams defense, and they've really shown up here in Medford. Jumbo's defense has too, and this has been where they've thrived in their half of the field. Butzo, 1st and 10 from the 33. Chipper Ross is the running back, and he's going to take this carry here. He's got space up the middle, and he's going to be brought down for a gain of around 13 or 14 yards there. A nice run for the junior, who's really beginning to turn on his jets.
And we're used to seeing those big early drive gains on farther down the field, but with this great field position, they might be able to finally take that early drive momentum and work it into the end zone.
Puzzo's going to look for the end zone now. He almost had Chauffeur, who was turning around, but it was a little overthrown, and Chauffeur might not have been ready for it. 2nd and 10 now. Right at the edge of the red zone, and threatening are the Bantams after the McDonald fumble. Micah Atticus is going to switch back into this game for a 2nd down. Getting a little instructions from the sideline are the players for the Bantams. So 2nd and 10, 1 minute 35 left in the first, 1 minute 33 left in the third quarter of this game. And the snap to Puzzo under some pressure. He's going to go to the end zone. And that's going to be well out of bounds, intended for Samuelman. And it'll be a 3rd and 10.
Once again, it looked like he just had no other options, decided to throw that one up there. No chance of being caught. It was well out of bounds.
So 3rd and long now. Jumbo's defense once again proving hard to break down. One time that they've been beaten for a touchdown was a busted coverage by Kobe Chauffeur. It resulted in a 24-yard touchdown pass. 3 wide receivers. Chip Ross in the backfield. Really nicely read by the Jumbos, and the ball's on the ground. It's going to be recovered by Trinity in a 4th down, but that's a huge play there by number 28 for the Jumbos. That's, or excuse me, not number 28. We'll see what the number is in a second. Down is number 72.
It's like number 20.
Yeah, that was Tyler Scales. You could see him ready. He started his run early. A designed blitz from the linebacker, and he got there and forced a fumble. Down right now is Austin Bellardi. Going to get some treatment there, but a big stop again on 3rd down for the Jumbos. And it's having a lot of difficulty now. It's 2 of 8 at halftime, and they've not done much better since have the Bantams, and they're going to take a chance at a field goal here now.
And it's almost unlucky that that fumble bounced forward so much. He could have had a loss of 7 or 8 yards, made it a harder field goal attempt, but instead the fumble bounced forward back towards the line of scrimmage where it was recovered, and that's where they'll take the field goal attempt from.
Last time we saw the field goal team, it ended up in the point after being taken back to the house by Tim Preston for a 2-point Jumbos conversion.
This will be a long field goal. Looks like it's about 40 yards or so.
And the snap. And it's up, and it's going to be good. So a low kick from Sashi, but he'll make that one.
40-yard field goal from Eric Sachs is good, and with 50
Sachs, excuse me, if I'm mispronouncing his. I apologize to Mr. and Mrs. Sachs now. 50 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, and it'll be 16 to Trinity and 9 to the Tufts Jumbos. And we'll see a kickoff from Sachs in just a moment, but the Jumbos did everything right in that defensive play, except intimidate Sachs so much he missed the field goal.
Yeah, I mean, it is still a one-score game, 1-touchdown game. Not much has changed because of that field goal. The only difference is now that they need to make the extra point if they do score a touchdown. But besides that, they're looking at it with the same mentality. A touchdown is what they need here to tie the game up.
And they're going to need better quarterback play than Ryan McDonald's provided so far. An interception and a fumble already this quarter to go with his first half 2-interception performance. So 4 turnovers already to 1 touchdown. He's gonna try and get a second one on this drive. Sachs back to take the kick here for Trinity. Dolan had a nice return last time. He'll try and repeat that if it goes over to his left side. Here comes Sachs with the run-up. It's a long kick. Dolan right back to the goal line. He's going to take it out of the end zone, excuse me. He's past the 20. He's got some room. He's at the 30. Still got some space, and he's going to be taken down by 2 players at the 41-yard line. A huge takeback of 41 yards by Jack Dolan.
And once again, Dolan showing his speed, showing his athleticism, his ability to find holes with that great return. He's done a really good job running with the ball this game, made some significant gains after having the ball in his hands.
Yeah, and it looks like his hand is a little shaken up after that play, getting looked at the sideline right now. He'll probably come back into this game. He looks all right. In the meantime, 1st and 10 from the 41 for the Jumbos. Here's Ryan McDonald. Last play was a fumble. And that's an aborted snap there. We'll see what that call is officially. Flags were thrown. It looked like the center kind of picked it up and then put it back down and tried to snap it. You see that ball come back. We're going to bring that back 5 yards.
And that's just another silly mistake that the Jumbos cannot afford to make there. A loss of 5 yards just makes it that much harder.
Yeah, loss of 5 yards on the aborted snap. 1st and 15 now. Pedrini switches to the left side of McDonald, but he's got the pass tipped up again. That's a drop from Dan De Leon, and it'll be a 2nd and 15 on a ball he should have caught.
They're lucky that wasn't another interception off an easy catch that was dropped.
Excuse me, Frank Roach, the intended receiver, has a touchdown already this game, but almost facilitated an interception there. Jumbos are going to overload the short side of the field now on 2nd and 15. 3 receivers. And it's going to be a handoff to Mike Pedrini. He's going to break a tackle. He's got space at the 40, makes a few people miss. He's still running, and he ends up being taken 47. Trinity has been single-handedly solving the Jumbos' rushing woes there. That's a gain of 18 for Mike. The freshman gets a 1st down. You'll see it here. And a really nice run by him. 16 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. And the Jumbos are going to try and run one last play here. It's going to be another handoff to Pedrini, and he's not going to get as much space there. He's going to be stopped for a gain of 2 on forward progress, and we're going to see the time expire in the end in the third quarter, which has been a wild and wacky quarter of football, wouldn't you say, Phil?
It has indeed. We've seen some plays that you won't usually see in a football game, let alone a NESCAC football game.
In a game that had 2 trips to the end zone in the first half, we saw 2 on consecutive plays in that quarter. First, a pick 6 by Dominique Seeger, and then followed up immediately by a Tim Preston blocked point after return. And that's what's gotten us. That got us to 13-9 in favor of Trinity, and Trinity added on a field goal after a Ryan McDonald fumble to take their advantage up to 7 points going into the final quarter of action here in Medford. Slash Somerville, technically Somerville. But.
And the Jumbos definitely are not feeling good about being down, but they are not down by too much. 1 touchdown is very feasible, especially with 15 full minutes left to play. So they're going to look to capitalize on this drive here, hopefully score a touchdown, tie the game up, and then see what they can do from there.
And you'd have to say the key is don't turn over the ball again.
Do not turn over the ball. They've done that far too many times, 4 too many times actually.
Well played. And so they're going to get the ball here now at the 47-yard line. 2nd and 8 after the 2-yard carry by Pedrini. There's McDonald. There's Mike Pedrini there. It's going to be a snap to McDonald. He's under pressure. His coverage is broken down, and he's almost sacked there. Still has some space. Going to look to throw. Going to loft it long into coverage, and it's almost intercepted. Should have been intercepted there. And on the almost pick was number 20, John Medina. That would have been his 2nd of the day, and it's one that he should have had.
That's the 2nd play in a row that McDonald is lucky to get away without throwing an interception.
Is that a situation where you would have liked to see him take it on his own?
I think that's a situation where he probably should have thrown it away as opposed to launching it into an area of the field where there seemed to be only Trinity defenders. I didn't even see a receiver
looks like, I think, triple
there.
coverage.
Yeah.
There on the receiver. So it's a 3rd and 8 now. Jumbo's 4 receivers. Pedrini in the backfield. 3 on the long side of the field. There's a snap. And pockets breaking down again. McDonald evading a sack. At the 2nd time of asking as well. He's going to pass it short, and it's complete. Pedrini with the catch, and he's going to be taken down at the 19. Backfield, but it looks like there might have been a flag on the field. See what it is, but in the meantime, you can see the replay of a catch that may or may not stand.
It'd be unfortunate to lose that yardage once again. Another big play.
And they are going to lose it, and this time it's because of a block below the knees. Call against the Jumbos there, and that's going to hurt big time for Tufts and their fans.
And we've seen that a number of times this game where the Jumbos make big plays and then lose it all on a penalty.
This is going to be a 3rd and 24 for the Jumbos compared to what would have been a first down at the 21-yard line of Trinity. They've gone almost half the 25 yards backwards there. And so the big play negated by the big penalty. Here's a little 3rd and long. Looking to pass. McDonald's going to air this one out, intending for Roach. Roach comes down with it, but there's another flag in the secondary. We'll wait to see what that is. But a huge catch by Fred. Right back to get it.
Great catch, falling down over his head. You have to hope that that one does not once again get called back.
Is like it. Yes, the defense, a holding call, but Frank Roach with an incredible diving catch coming down with it, and that's a huge gain for the Jumbos of about 50 yards.
The result of the play is a first down for the Jumbos.
First down from the 22 here for the Jumbos. 2 big plays in a row. Only one of which counted. Here's McDonald trying to make it 3 in a row. He's going to take this himself, evading 2 tacklers. He's got some room, and he's going to be taken down in the red zone at the 18, out of bounds.
This is the Jumbos' first time in the red zone, so we'll see what they can do here.
Yeah, their 1 touchdown was scored from 24 yards out, and they're now within 18 of the goal line. Excuse me, it's actually, they did make it into the red zone before the interception into the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
I believe.
They were in the red zone, and then
And then he got
4
taken
yards
out of it.
It got taken out.
Yeah, McDonald got up to the 4, but then got a
15.
unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Here's a snap now. McDonald looking to pass, under pressure, rolling out, still in the pocket, still more pressure, rolling out further, going to pass this, and he's found Mike Pedrini. And that's going to take it almost up to the first down marker. Another nice catch by Mike Pedrini, who's become an outlet for McDonald while he's been under pressure. And while Brian McDonald may not have been able to make a mark in terms of yardage on his legs, but the amount he's done evading sacks in this drive alone is incredible.
Well, he just flexed towards the sideline, and that's what he's been doing this drive, is flexing. He's been improvising his way down the field, escaping defenders, throwing shifty little passes.
3rd and 3 now as the sun is coming out on Ellis Oval. High snap, handoff, Mike Pedrini. Mike Pedrini's got space up the middle. He's going to take this all the way to the house. Mike Pedrini with a 14-yard touchdown, and the Jumbos are 1 point away from tying this game. And it's the Mike Pedrini drive. On that drive.
And I think Pedrini saw the sun come out, and he thought that's got to be and that's what he did.
Takes a handoff and finds a great deal of space. Nice blocking by the offensive line. And he manages to break a tackle at the 2 and take it into the end zone for his 2nd career touchdown. Had one last week, has one this week. And here's Al Swanger trying to tie the game for the Jumbos. It's a low snap. The kick is up. And the point after is good. And the Jumbos have tied the game against the NESCAC leading Trinity Bantams 16-16 with 12 minutes and 44 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And we have one great game here.
That was an impressive drive by the Jumbos. They had 2 near interceptions. They had 1 big penalty for a 3rd and 24. But after converting with a big play there, they seemed to almost walk into the end zone.
And it's the drive the Jumbos needed. It had been a demoralizing half on the offensive side, but that drive sees them take it a long way and working the ball well in big gains, even with costly penalties. And so now it's Sonny Puzo's turn to respond. Got a field goal the last time out after a nice Jumbos stop. Both teams now running the ball better in this 2nd half.
And that run right there to score that touchdown. Mike Pedrini has been having a great 2nd half. He's been getting nice yardage. He's had a couple 10-plus yard runs.
It's a low kick, spinning on its ends. Returned from the 12. And he's got some space, the returner, number 21. And he's brought down at the 33-yard line, number 21, Shelby Grant, the sophomore from Darien, Connecticut, on the return.
And the Jumbos have been good on special teams previously, making tackles downfield, getting in front of the returner, not giving a lot of space to return. But it seemed like they just missed a couple of tackles and just gave him a lot more room than he probably should have had to run.
This is the first real test of the year. Other than, well, they beat Williams, the Bantams, but they've played subpar teams in the NESCAC so far. Their combined opponent's record is 3-13. Jumbos at 3-1, proving a much harder test, especially away from home. Here's the handoff to Chipperoff. He's got some space, but he's almost taken down by a nice tackle and ends up going out of bounds at the 38. That's going to be a gain of 4 or 5. That looked like Alex LaPiana pushing him out of bounds.
And the Bantams have not felt the taste of defeat in a significant amount of time. So I think that Tufts is definitely looking to give them a little bit of that flavor.
Yeah, undefeated NESCAC champions last year at 8-0. This year they're going to have to try and get to 9-0 thanks to the new schedule that allows everyone to play everyone else. 2nd and 5. In motion is David. Handoff to Chippeross. He's going to take it up the weaker side, and he's going to get the first down and some more. He's going to get up to the 47 there. That's a nice gain of 9.
He's showing the Jumbos that he as well can make 10-yard runs.
David switching from tight end to fullback here, helping out. Puzo's going to take it himself here, and he's going to be brought down nicely by Brett Phillips at the 44-yard line. That's a gain of 4.
That's 3 straight decent, successful rushes by Trinity.
And that'll be marked as a gain of 7 for the quarterback. from West Caldwell, New Jersey. Here he is now. He's going to hand it off to Max Chipperos. He's going to get a first down and then be taken down by the Jumbos at the 39-yard line. So chipping away on the ground here now.
That looks like 4 straight rushes, 2 straight first downs. They're really getting it done with the running game.
That was Zach Thomas on the stop for the Jumbos. See there the coaching staff for this Trinity offense includes Malatsky, who I mentioned earlier, and alongside a number of capable assistants. Capable, you could tell by their success that they've had today and throughout the season. 4 people in the backfield now, including Puzzo. Here's the snap, telegraphed the run play, but Chipperos finds some space anyway and is taken down by Greg Holt for a first down. Or short of a first down, they're going to spot that at the 30-yard line. A 9-yard run by Max Chipperos. And they're just probably going to keep feeding him here.
2nd and 1 for Trinity.
2nd and 1 now at the 30. If you're just joining us, it's been a great game of football so far. Tufts has managed to overcome 4 turnovers from McDonald to tie this game at 16. And it's going to be Puzzo taking it himself now. Nice misdirection, and he's going to get enough for the first. And some more down to the 20-yard line, a 10-yard gain for the senior. And taking advantage of Chipperos' success, perhaps they have to block. It seems, Phil, that they have to put some more effort towards preventing the run, and that's given Puzzo more yards to scramble.
Yeah, the Bantams have seemed to run the majority of the field on this drive. Looks like they've gone about 40 or 50 yards just on the ground. 6 straight run plays.
We'll see if it's 7 here. 1st and 10 on the 20, knocking on the door of the red zone. And yep, it's going to be a handoff to Max Chipperos, and he's going to be eaten up by Greg Holt for a gain of 4.
Chipperos on the carry for the Bantams.
Chipperos probably up around the 100-yard mark now for the game. It's been averaging around 100 so far this season. Came into the game averaging slightly shy with 394 yards of rushing. 2nd and 6 from the 17. Red zone is where Tufts defense has come up big. They're going to try and do that again. Here's a snap. It's going to be a screen out to Kobe Schofer. He's going to go to the sideline and be knocked out of bounds at the 10-yard line for a gain of 7. We'll see if they give him the first down. They're actually going to spot that at the 8-yard line, so that'll be short there. A 3rd and 1, a gain of 5 for Schofer.
Huge defensive play coming up here for the Jumbos.
3rd and 1 now at the 11. The snap, the handoff. Puzzo's going to take it himself, and he's going to be stopped short at the 9. A huge defensive play by Brett Phillips, the safety, to tackle Sonny Puzzo and take him to a 4th down. No gain on the play.
And we'll see if Trinity decides to kick this or go for it with 1 yard to go.
Well, they're going to take some time to think about it here, calling a timeout. I believe they're calling a timeout. Excuse me, no, we're going to see a measurement here of the ball. It looks to be short. First down marker is at the 10. And it's short by an inch or 2. So what do you think, Phil? Go for it here? It's very close.
It would be a very bold decision to go for it. It would be smart to take the points, take the lead, and see if their defense, which has done a great job all game, can make another stop. But if they're looking to put the pressure on, going for it here, going for some more than 3 points may be the move.
And they are going to go for it. Offense is still out. 4th and 1 at the 11-yard line. The Tufts defense trying to make the biggest of stops so far in a tie game in the 4th quarter. Stop Sonny Puzzo last time. They'll see if they can do it again. 3 wide receivers for the Bantams.
One of the biggest defensive plays of the game, possibly even the season for Tufts right now.
And the snap. They're going to hand it off to Chipperos. He's going to bounce off, and he's going to get the first down, and he might get the touchdown. Leaps towards the end zone. And we'll see where they spot him. They're going to spot him at the 1. A 10-yard gain for Max Chipperos. It didn't look like he was going to make it, but he bounced off the backs of his offensive line and got a 10-yard gain out of a 1-yard conversion.
He ran right into a wall, but nobody was able to get a hand on him. He ran into a wall of his own blockers, and then he bounced outside. There was nobody there to stop him.
So now it's a 1st and goal for Trinity. Max Chipperos has done most of the work on this drive, makes a huge play there. And now it's inches away from the goal line. Got a fullback in play. Jumbo's play rush. And it looks like Chipperos is going to be short again. But he chips away a little more, as his name suggests. And it'll be a 2nd and very short. Clock ticking below 7.5 minutes. So 2nd and goal now. And one big stop has turned into an opportunity for another for the Jumbos.
The Jumbos are going to want to pack the line here. They have to be expecting another rush.
Do you think this might be a good time to call a pass?
It'd be an interesting play call.
Fullback in motion. They're just going to let Chipperos run out to the outside. And to the end zone. That's a Trinity touchdown. A 1-yard rush by Max Chipperos on a drive where he's done most of the work. It's a big 4th down conversion and then gets a big 2nd down touchdown. And the Bantams are back up by 6, 7 pending this extra point.
And I can't even remember a time that Trinity threw during that drive, as it looked like they just ran the entire length of the field.
Well, it worked.
It did.
And so here's Sachs for the extra point. Last one was blocked and returned by Tim Preston for a touchdown. Jumbos almost get there again, but this time it's going to be a point after for the Bantams. 23-16 to Trinity after a Max Chipperos 1-yard touchdown, and he's out of breath, and he has every right to be, given the amount he ran on that drive. So it's the Tufts Jumbos' turn now to show their muscle and try and drive it to the end zone and tie this game back up.
And after that last touchdown, Jumbos looked good, they felt good, and then Trinity came right back and put the pressure back on them, taking another 7-point lead.
And the Parents Weekend crowd has been presented with what must be one of the best NESCAC games of the week. It was feted as such before we began, and it's turned out to be just what everyone expected. And the Jumbos have been threatening the whole game to pull an upset, albeit a small one given their stance in the NESCAC, but they're going to need another touchdown to even come close to that.
And even with the score, the Jumbos have played well. They've had a good defensive performance. It's really been those turnovers that have been the game changer. But besides those 4 turnovers, everything else besides those mistakes has been pretty good, pretty sound for the Jumbos.
But unfortunately for the Jumbos, the way the NESCAC works and the way it's shaping out to be, a second loss would be a big blow to their chances at getting anything meaningful out of this season. With the hardest half of the schedule yet to come, in this game, the halfway point of the season. It's a long kick by Sachs. Returning it around the 4 is Dolan. He's going to take it now past the 20. Takes a move. He's going to run to the outside, the weak side of the field, but it looks like he's going to be covered up there. Combining on the tackle are 2 Trinity players, including number 4, Samir Madden, the defensive back from Springside Chestnut Hill in high school in Norristown, Pennsylvania.
That's 3 straight return runs for Jack Dolan for significant yardage. He's been doing a really good job on those.
Yeah, that one for about 28 yards, and the Jumbos will start now at their own 33 with under 7 minutes to go in the game. Last drive was their best of the half, ending in a Mike Pedrini run of 14 yards. Both teams have run the ball a lot recently, but the Jumbos may be a little more conscious now with time ticking down and a deficit to make up. But either way, they're going to run with Pedrini here, and he's going to make it up to the 41, a gain of around 8 yards.
And although Pedrini scored the touchdown on the last drive, it was McDonald that was doing most of the work. He was improvising like a magician. He was all over the place, making strange but plays that worked. And so we'll see if he can do that again here.
2nd and 2 now, 8-yard gain for the freshman on that run. McDonald taking the time to communicate. 10 seconds on the play clock. 2 wide receivers in play. It's going to be another handoff to Pedrini. He makes a move and finds some space, and he'll get a first down there. They're going to spot him at the 44-yard line, which is enough to move the chains. A gain of 3 on the play.
But it is good for a first down, Jumbo.
Mike Pedrini staking his claim to a starting running back spot that had been in a vacuum early in this season. We fancied Dominic Borelli to take over the junior, but he's actually gone down with an injury, so now it's a competition between Andrew Sanders and Mike Pedrini, and Mike Pedrini seems to be winning that position battle today. He's going to run it again here. Up into the middle, he's just going to be eaten up by the Trinity defensive line for a gain of about 3 yards.
Pedrini on the carry for the Jumbos.
It looks like the Jumbos are putting their trust in Pedrini. He's been running well this whole game, so they're going to see how long he can keep that up, how many more yards he can get them. Hopefully work their way farther down the field.
2nd and 7 from their own 42-yard line.
It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Jumbos.
Eating up the clock on this drive. An interesting decision from Jay Savetti and company. Perhaps fancying a touchdown and maybe a 2-point conversion could put them in a good position to win this game. But we'll see. They have to cross midfield first. They're going to attempt to do on this 2nd down. McDonald's going to toss this off to Pedrini. It doesn't look like he's got much space to run, though, and he's going to go down for, looks like no gain. Maybe even a loss of 1. Yep, they're going to spot him now at the 46, so it's going to be now a 3rd and 8 for Tufts.
And an option play there, which really had no options. There was really nothing they could have done.
Probably saved a yard or 2 with the little shovel lateral, but in the end it doesn't pan out to any gain. So it's a 3rd and 7 now. Big 3rd down for the Jumbos here. Snap, McDonald from the empty backfield. He's going to take it himself, and he's not going to make the 1st down there. He's going to get a gain of about 3. That's a huge tackle by number 55 for Trinity. That's Liam Keneally. He's their best defensive player. He's been one of the best defensive players for 2 years now in the NESCAC. And he's doing well in his 3rd season as a no doubt starter and leader of this team.
And this is a tough spot to punt the ball with 4 minutes left, down by a touchdown.
They decided to let that clock run, taking a lot of time in that drive, and they didn't even get into field goal range out of it.
Looks like it's a fake.
And it's a fake, it ends up being a punt by La Piana. Interesting technique, and it'll be downed out of bounds at the 27-yard line. So that's where the Bantams will start, and now it really comes down to this Tufts defense. The 3 and out would be a huge help to the Jumbos here.
On that last play, it looks like he considered a fake, saw that there were no options, and decided to punt it anyway.
So 2 read option plays out of 3 on that drive, neither of which panned out to anything. And the Bantams are now back in offense, and we're going to see a lot of chipper routes running in this drive, I bet.
Yeah, I think they're just going to look to work this clock down. Only 3 3/4 minutes left.
Both teams, mind you, with 3 timeouts, but if they can keep the ball moving, that won't really matter at all.
And the quicker Tufts can make a stop here, the better.
And here come the Bantams. Here's the snap. It's going to be Max Chipperos, and he's going to be taken down for a gain of 4. Nice running, nice stop against Chipperos by the Jumbos. It was Brett Phillips, the safety, the senior safety, who missed all of last season with an injury.
And with the way Chipperoff has been running, a 4-yard gain is a nice stop here.
So 2nd and 6, and the Bantams are just going to take it nice and easy here, let the play clock wind down a little more before they take this next snap. Clock's going to tick under 3 minutes after this play. 3 wide receivers. David is the fullback. Chipperos the running back. They're going to run it outside with Chipperos leaping as a Jumbo's defensive lineman, and Chipperos has got room to move, and he takes it down to the 42-yard line. So a 1st down for Max Chipperos. And the first of what Jeff Devaney hopes will be many on this drive.
And each 1st down is another punch in the gut for the Jumbos, as it's just more opportunity for Trinity to run the clock down.
We're at 2:45 now in the 4th quarter. Jumbo's defense has played valiantly so far, but it won't matter if they can't stop Trinity here. And they do there on 1st down. That's going to be a loss of 2 for Max Chipperos. Looks like Greg Holt on the tackle with Doug Harrison. And the Tufts Jumbos will take their first time out of the second half here to stop the clock at 2 minutes 20. 2nd and 12 now.
And I think they have to hope that this is the down where they make the stop after using their first time out. They don't have much more room to let up any more first downs.
Yeah, and then they could force the Bantams to pass, which is always a better play if you're trying to stop the clock. And this is a Jumbos team that has played extremely valiantly against one of the best, if not the best teams in the NESCAC. It's made this an extremely close game, and they still have a chance to tie it and or win it. But they've been undercut badly by turnovers, specifically 4 of them from the hands of Ryan McDonald. 3 interceptions, including a pick 6 and a fumble, that have led to most of Trinity's points in this game.
And the majority of those turnovers, unnecessary, sloppy play.
Meanwhile, the Bantams have turned the screws here in this second half, especially through the legs of Max Chipperos. Do you think part of it is that we're in the 4th quarter now? Maybe the Jumbos defense is a little tired?
I think that both teams are a little bit tired, and the Trinity just happens to have the upper hand here.
Here's the snap. It's going to be a fake handoff to Chipperos. Poots is going to take it himself, and he's going to be stopped for a gain of 2, and that's a huge one for the Jumbos. We're going to see. Let's see if Sveti decides to take a timeout. Looks like he's going to stand pat, and it's going to be a 3rd and 9 after a 3-yard run. And yeah, excuse me, Sveti has called a timeout. Jumbos left with 1 timeout here, and this is going to go a long way in deciding this game, Phil.
This defensive stop right here, not quite as big as the 4th and 1 stop before, but probably the next biggest defensive play of the game.
And if you're Tufts, you have to get this now.
If they don't get this stop, I don't see any way that they can win this football game.
It's going to be a 3rd and 9. We haven't seen Sonny Puzzo throw the ball recently, but now he's got the biggest throw of the game yet. A completion here would allow them to run out the clock and win this game away in Medford and Somerville specifically. I always say Medford because it's just, I don't know. Anyway, I digress. This could decide the game. Charlie Driver with Phil Sprague here in what has been a great Saturday afternoon game. Sunshine has come out to cheer on the Jumbos here in Somerville. And now this defense, which has 5 sacks on the day, is going to have to get a stop here. A first down will spend the end of it. A fourth down will expand the Jumbos' hopes of getting something out.
Everybody on their feet right now, hoping the Jumbos can make this stop.
And here comes the snap. 3 receivers, Chipperos in the backfield for Sonny Puzzo. David motioning. And the snap. It's going to be a run play. Chipperos has some space, and he's got the first down and some more. He's running up the sideline. He's past the 30, and he's taken down at the 29 inbounds. So the clock is going to continue to tick under 2 minutes. And that's probably going to be it.
You got to think for the Jumbos right now.
To run it on a 3rd and 9, but it pays off. Max Chipperos with a plus yard. He's had a huge game with a touchdown and over 100 yards rushing for the Bantams. And right here, this is the final nail in the Jumbos' coffin.
And it wasn't until the 4th quarter that he really kicked up his rushing performance, and since then he's been unstoppable.
1st and 10 now. Minute 45 on the clock.
Really all the Jumbos can hope for now is a silly mistake.
And they're going to run it with Chipperos up into the middle, and he's going to go down for a gain of 2 or 3. And another 20 or 30 seconds off the clock here. Well, no, actually, because that's the final timeout of the Tufts Jumbos. So that'll be a 2 or 3 yard gain, and it'll be a 2nd down. Excuse me, no gain there. No, it was 2 or 3 yards. So Jeff Devaney probably coming over and just going to say, don't fumble the ball. Nice game. Congrats. And if you're the Jumbos, how would you feel heading into at this stage in the game?
I think that they definitely have to feel a little bit discouraged. They played a great game defensively. They did everything that they really could do to put themselves in a position to win this football game. And now that it's finally the clock is ticking down and they feel their hopes of tying or winning this game fading away, they can't feel too good.
This is a team that has played in a very neat offensive style so far this season, save for a few mistakes in their loss against Wesleyan, but this time the offense has been plagued by penalties and turnovers. And just like that, a 7-point deficit is going to turn out perhaps a little too much to overcome.
And it's really just been this fourth quarter. Until the fourth quarter, Tufts seemed to have everything under control. And then this fourth quarter, Trinity's really just looked unstoppable on offense.
So a 2nd and 7 here, a minute and a half left in this game. Max Chipperos most likely going to receive this handoff, and he does. He's going to be stopped for no gain by Micah Atticus, and this clock is going to tick below a minute.
Chipperos on the carry for Trinity. Atticus on the stop for the Jumbos.
That was for no gain. Excuse me, a loss of 2. We're now at a 3rd and 9. 24 seconds on the play clock will take us down to around 40 seconds remaining.
Presumably, the Jumbos would be able to, on the fourth down would begin with roughly 5 or so seconds left if they can make a quick stop.
2 seconds on the play clock. Here's the snap. Here's the handoff to Chipperos. He's taking it at the outside, and he's going to be taken down there by number 20, Tyler Scales. And they're going to get the ball here. Or excuse me, you would expect a field goal attempt to put this one to bed from Sachs. That'll come with about 4 seconds remaining.
Or maybe a handoff where he just runs around in the backfield for 3 seconds.
Yeah, there's a 3-second difference between the play clock and the game clock here, and we've seen some wild plays in this game, including an 100-yard touchdown interception return by Dominique Seegers, and then a long point-after block return by Tim Preston. But the Jumbos will have to harness a little more magic to be able to pull anything out of this game. Trinity calls a timeout there. Says the time expired, but they're going to probably put 3 seconds back up on that game clock.
Really interesting to see.
They're going to give it 5, actually.
Interesting to see what play they choose to run here. A field goal gives the chance of another block. There's no real way to punt it here.
If they run a play with 5 seconds left.
Yeah, it's just a matter of Trinity's offense minimizing any chances of losing the football, which is already extremely minimal. So we'll see what their call is. Jumbos just get to waffle around here on the field, waiting to get sent to their death. Seven Nation Army playing at perhaps an inopportune time for the Jumbos fans. There's not a lot of pep left in this stadium on Parents Weekend. Jumbos have been beaten fairly by the top team in the NESCAC, who are going to advance to 5-0 here. One final play.
See if they try to waste this last 5 seconds.
Here's a snap. Puzo is going to look for a pass. He's just going to throw that one up there, and that's going to be incomplete. And there's actually, it looked like there might have been a second left on the clock. That's why you see all the fingers up for the Jumbos. They might give them this second. It looked to me like it was there. And the referee's going to call the game. That's contentious, and I frankly disagree with that. Looked to be 1 second left on the clock there, and the Jumbos are well entitled to having a chance. And they are going to get a chance. Or actually, they are not. Nope. Jay Savetti is livid here, because the Jumbos have been denied a final chance at tying this game. And you would have to say, Phil, that they probably deserved one.
After the way that they played, you'd hope that they'd have been able to get one.
But instead, this game ends. At the expiry of regulation, Trinity has won by a score of 23-16. The Bantams advance to 5-0, still undefeated on the season. This is their toughest test of the year so far. The Jumbos dropped to 3-2 despite a valiant effort against a team they have not beaten in 10 years. Ryan McDonald, 3 picks and one fumble undermines Jumbo's offensive efforts. Mike Pedrini did a good job getting them a touchdown. For the Bantams, touchdown scored by Kobe Schofer in the first half and Max Chipperas in the second half from the 1-yard line are enough with the might of the Dominique Seegers. Oh, excuse me, they are actually going to give them a chance. Yeah, and so they've done the handshake, but this game isn't over yet. So I'll give the same recap in just a moment, barring any miracles here. It looks like the Bantams are back for a kickoff, but that's only because the Jumbos are going to have to drive this ball 78 yards to the end zone. 1 second, 1st and 10 for the Jumbos offense. This is going to be for the game. In the backfield is Joe Nault, number 8.
I expect a lateral play here.
And here it comes. Here's Ryan McDonald. He's going to look for a short pass here. It's complete to Jack Dolan, and he's going to lateral it up, and it's going to be recovered by a Jumbo. He's got some space. He's past the 50. Lateraled up again. That's Ryan McDonald with the ball now. There's a flag on the field and some players down. McDonald still with it. He's got space. Hands it off to Joe Nault. Joe Nault's going to go across the field. The Jumbos are still going to have the ball. There's another flag. Both of those are probably for forward laterals and don't matter anyway. Jumbo's still with the ball at the 40, past the 35, and taken down at the 32. And there are 2 flags on the field and 2 players down. Players down are more concerning than the flags because the flags would just nullify this result anyway. So we hope the best for those players. In the meantime, this final score is 23-16. So the Jumbos can't get it done on that final play. Almost a Medford City miracle. But in the meantime, Trinity advances to an undefeated record. So congratulations to the Bantams for beating the Tufts Jumbos, who have put up a really tough test and still remain one of the best teams in the NESCAC, even if their record at 3-2 may not show it. Big play in this one was Dominique Seegers. He returned one from the house to the other house, crossing the entire length of the field and evading all the Jumbos. And that 6-point difference has been more or less enough. The injured player for the Bantams is number 15. That's Dominique Seegers himself. So we hope the best for him, but he's had one of his best games of his college career, and it's a heartbreaking loss for the Tufts Jumbos, who have played their best football of the year and still come up short. That's all for us from JumboCast. We'll be back in 2 weeks at 1:30 for a Tufts game. I'm not sure who that's against. That's a Halloween weekend. So we'll hope that you join us then. In the meantime, for Phil Sprague, I'm Charlie Driver. Thanks for tuning in to JumboCast on this Saturday afternoon, and have a great rest of your weekend.